Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Deck Sim live stream. Today it's the 5th of January 2024, 5 minutes past 4 in the evening here in the United Kingdom. We're back at X-Plane 12 and it's in the ZIBO Mod 737. Now, the original plan, I was hoping to take the Builds Airbus A300 and do some cargo ops this evening, but I've spent the last sort of 6 hours of Microsoft Flight Simulator pulling out what little hair I have with crashed desktop issues. I ran out of patience. I think it's a combination of issues with the Builds A300 at the moment. Some people have had none. A lot of people reporting issues. I've been having them, and I just said, you know what? ZIBO's been really busy. Let's do a flight in X-Plane 12. And I can't believe this. 10 minutes ago I loaded up the sim, there was no snow, and now snow's been falling, and not only that, the ZIBO Mod 737 has icing, so it has ice building up on the wing, the top of the leading edge, and the engine cowling, and look at Hamburg here, it is covered in snow, so it is snowing here in Hamburg, it's 0 degrees, so I didn't even know this was a thing in X-Plane 12 now, but it looks like snow is modelled, or maybe it's the Just Sim scenery. Well, I don't think it is, because there's snow in the surrounding area, but yeah, this is Just Sim scenery for X-Plane 11, but when I was taking screenshots in preparation for this stream earlier, there was no snow, but it looks fantastic in the snow. I'm just lucky, I guess. I needed some luck when it came to streaming. But yeah, we're flying from Germany here in Hamburg in the ZIBO Mod 737. Live weather, 6 hours behind live time. We're going to Riga, where this evening there's a VATSIM event going on in the whole of the Baltic area, so it should be nice, busy ATC. Just one sector this evening, 1 hour, 20 minutes, and we'll just see where the mod is. As I said, there's been about 40 updates in the last 2 weeks, certainly since I've flown it last, so it's going to be good fun indeed. Yes, Hugo Vanes will be doing de-icing ops, full de-icing procedures. Whenever I test the mod or fly the 737, I try to fly as realistically as possible and as close to my operators' SOPs within the confines of a desktop simulator, so we'll be doing that indeed. Wazy, go very slow as ZIBO likes to slide in snow. Noted, Wazy. Let's see what we get on. Jonathan Wiltshire, thanks for your 38 months as a member. That's an incredible amount of time over 3 years. Happy New Year, Captain. Yes, sorry, Happy New Year, everyone, as well. First stream of the year, 2024. Been so busy right up to the period. I've actually got 2 weeks off now, but work's been flat out indeed in the simulator. Who else we got here? Everyday Normal Geeks here as well. HD Sim, David Gamer, Spitfire IF 100, some usual names and faces indeed. Good evening, said Marcus Rexel. Hope you're doing well. AFO 3310, some old faces indeed here. Great to be able to catch a stream. Hope you had a wonderful holiday, Captain. Thank you very much, Dante. My holiday started on Tuesday as my dear grandmother's funeral on Tuesday, which was as well. The funeral's always not a nice thing to go to, but it went as well as it possibly could. Sorry, that was on Wednesday. So we went back home yesterday, just catching up with some things. Went to IKEA, bought a shelf. I might show you that on Yoke Cam later. But yeah, got 2 weeks off now, so looking forward to doing lots of streams with you guys. Look at this. Now this is actually outdated scenery from Just Sim for X-Plane 11, but it works perfectly fine in X-Plane 12. But look at all the snow and inclement weather. Look, the aprons are clear as snow, but look on the top of the wing of the ZIBO Mod 737. Look, I know it's not super detailed, but look, it's covered in snow. And when you de-ice, this snow disappears. There's a very strong contrast of where it ends and then goes onto the wing there. So yeah, it's really cool to see that this is modelled in the mod. I didn't even know it was a thing. But is it X-Plane or ZIBO? I don't know. But the windows also covered in snow and ice. The windscreen at the front as well. Yeah, unfortunately that should have snow on it. Maybe there were some blankets on it prior to the stream there. Hope you're doing well, Stefan. Happy New Year to you as well. Hello from Johannesburg, said Marius. Hope you're doing well. Anthony, we'll get another picture of your chicken legs at IKEA. No comment. Hope you're doing well, buddy. ZIBO's on fire. Yeah, we're currently on version 4.0.2. I've not done a full test sector. As I said, so I spent the entire morning trying to get Microsoft Flight Sim sorted, but I just gave up. So many issues with it for me personally in the sim. Anyway, let's jump on into the ZIBO Mod 737. I couldn't get the air bridge to attach, but look, you can see there's little bits of icing forming up here as well, and since I've flown it, the textures look a lot crisper in here as well, so things are slowly improving with the mod in X-Plane 12. They're already good, but there's been a lot of changes to the flight model as well, so yeah. As I said, I'll point out any differences between the real aircraft and the mod. It won't be perfect, but let's see if we can get this thing from A to B. Anyway, hopefully we'll be absolutely fine. Anyway, let's turn the sound down here. It's actually quite busy here in Hamburg. Yeah, there's a lot of traffic around. I don't know if there's an event going on here, but look, 2 aircraft taxiing in. I think Is it a steam train on the runway? Oh no, someone's just landed, I think. That's the tyre smoke. But yeah, things like this explain a 12 are adding. Like tyre smoke, after it landed, it takes a while to clear. These little features I really do like indeed. When I first tried X-Plane 12 with its new icing system, I completely missed it, and the Tolis A321 was just completely unable to take off. This could go very well then, Actor. Let's see how we get on today. Right, batteries on, GPUs on the bus, electric hydraulic pumps are on, landing gear lever is down. We then check all the aircraft documentation and ship's library, and the aircraft is fully serviceable. Right, I forgot to check yoke cams in the right position prior to the stream. There we are. Let me just jiggle that around slightly. I'm wearing Levi jeans today and a sweater, grey sweater here. It is very cold here in the UK. For all my followers and friends in the UK, I hope you haven't been flooded out. We've had so much rain this year. It's been absolutely crazy. Anyway, we've got the battery on and the GPUs on the bus now. Let's do the fault and fire test. We'll, of course, simulate de-icing ops. I'll just disable Tobii eye tracker because that's not always compatible with the mod. We don't need X checklist today. Let's do the fault and fire tests. So, extinguisher is done. I did start the checklist. Fault APU detector in op, master caution, overheat detector. Fire overheat test, no fault lights, 3 red lights, engine overheat, wheel well, bell, and overheat detector as well. Emergency exit lights armed, test the attend button. I've synced the sim brief flight plan with the mod, so if I press activate, it should load the passengers, cargo, and fuel in a sort of a realistic manner. I think the first thing it starts doing is the cleaning of the cabin, so I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, can you hear the hoovers going off? Or no? Yeah, look at all the snow on the window. So, I think when you get de-iced, it sort of clears the snow a little bit, but it's just little features like this. The graphics aren't as good as Microsoft Flight Simulator, but it adds a little bit of immersion and realism. Is there something else I need to do? Is activated? Well, I've already got plenty of fuel. Not sure. There we are. So yeah, that's started the whole pre-flight process now. So fuel is coming on board. We'll put on a little bit of extra. We'll talk about the weather conditions both here and in Riga. Winter ops are going to have to do some cold temperature corrections. There we are.
Fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
The cleaners are in the back there, clanging and banging around as they get the cabin ready for boarding. We did the fault and fire tests. Let's go up here then. So yeah, let's get a little bit of extra fuel on. So our alternate. Now I picked 4 alternates because the closest ones weren't really suitable with the forecast. Heavy snow, freezing rain. I actually went for Gdansk as the planned alternate, which is a little bit further away, but it was a sort of a jail, get out of jail free card because the weather there, it's only forecast to be light snow, but otherwise fine. So we're fuel planned for the furthest alternate, Gdansk, which is 7.6. I'm going to take an extra 30 minutes on top of that. So that's going to be 8.6. We'll call it 8.8 tons. So I'll just put on a little bit of extra fuel, which is going to be over here. Fuel 8.8. And call for the fuel truck. Just to top up to 8.8 tons. There we go. We'll wait until we put the seatbelts on until the refueling's done. Which version of the mod is this? It's 4.0.2, I believe. As we're in freezing conditions, we need to turn the probe heat on. We'll do that on nice and early. We'll do the rest in a second. Flaps are up, which match the indicated position. Do a config warning check. God, they're the loudest cleaners I've ever heard. Let's turn up the panel lighting. Trim's all set. Cargo fire warning test. So forward aft discharge, no detector fault. Fire warning bell and light is illuminated. 2000 standby. Rudder and aileron trim is 3 and 0. Check the gear extension doors. Circuit breakers are all in. My side. Emergency escape route is closed. The box, the lid is, and it's attached to the aircraft. Flight recorder test is done. Mac airspeed warning test, just remember to turn the voice recorder on. Stall warning test, we're going to have to wait a little longer for. IRS to nav. 9 minutes for the alignment. And the circuit breakers are all in the captain's side. Check the tech log, check the safety equipment. All is good. Is this X-Plane weather? This is default X-Plane weather. This is default X-Plane weather, not using Active Sky at the moment. Anthony, do you work with a dispatcher on the alternate, or do they make a recommendation? So, I don't know if it's different in the US, Anthony. The dispatcher has no input on anything to do with flight planning. It's merely loading the aircraft. The captain
Ground
is...
flight deck fuel is all loaded up and you are good to
Excellent. The captain is the one who makes the final fuel decision. Your choice of alternates is also based off the captain's final decision, discussing with the first officer, of course. And if it's very unlikely you'll get into your destination, you would contact operations and advise them, look, the weather's not great. We've changed our planned alternate to this or this and whatnot. This is what happens if we don't go. And even if we get to our destination, we can't get in, we can also hold and contact the company, get the weather for different options, and then talk about the most preferable commercial alternate. But ultimately, you can decide wherever you want to go. Yeah, in these sort of conditions, where diversion is more likely, make sure you take extra fuel. Certainly, I've been flying for 12 years and 5 years as a skipper. No one's ever come back to me and said, why have you taken so much extra fuel? If you need it, take it. And on days like this, 30 minutes, as long as you've got an alternate far away, which we have, Gdansk, that also gives us other options to check the other alternates. We might be able to divert closer and use a bit of that diversion fuel for a closer alternate if that time came. Hope that answers your question there. Ben, you're flying along offline to test the sim. Excellent. Ooh, it's gone very bright. Is that because it's stopped snowing? Oh, I hope the snow doesn't disappear because it looks really cool. Anyway, that's that answered. Cargo fire test we got up to, and the overhead panel we did as well. Let's grab the ATIS and see what's what. The frequency is 124325. There we are. Let's have a little listen in. Oops, I need the volume mixer turned up.
5. Transition level 70. Wind 090 degrees 12 knots. Visibility 2,100 meters.
Lovely.
Snow, mist.
Lovely.
Ceiling 700 broken. 1,100 broken. 1,700 broken. Temperature 0. Dew point -1. QNH 1002. Hamburg information Juliet out.
It's a very clear ATIS. Beats every other ATIS I've ever heard.
Hamburg information Juliet. Met report time 1450 Zulu special. When passing 2,000 feet, contact Bremen radar. Check charts for departure frequency.
Just tell us.
Expect ILS approach runway 15. Runway in use for landing 15 and takeoff 05. Transition level 70. Wind 090 degrees 12.
Yeah, so there's an automatic changeover frequency. I've never heard an ATIS ever say check the charts, the frequency. They'll always say on the ATIS, this is the frequency to contact, unless there is a unique thing with Hamburg. But yeah, the departure frequency on the chart is 119.510. So I'll make a note of that and we'll contact them. And I can see online that frequency's online as well. Yes, the new HUD, I've heard about this, but I don't think I've got the HUD option selected. So I will have a play with that on another stream. We don't have the heads-up display operator, so I don't have much clue about it. Anyway, QNH is 1002. I've preloaded the real Boeing OPT for runway 05. We'll plan for Delta 3 intersection, and the MFRA is 1053. Now, MFRAs off our OPT are cold temperature corrected, so we don't actually need to make any adjustments to this. So that is set. We'll select airport. Just hide the yoke here for a second. Turn up the panel lighting. And now it's time to load up the flight management computer. So we'll bring the charts up. Well, actually, I can fetch the flight plan from SimBrief, can't I? So it's Echo Delta Delta Hotel, Hamburg for our position, GPS left, and if I press flight plan request, it'll fetch that from the little file I downloaded. Lima Echo Lima 3, 42 months as a member. That's a stupendous amount of time. That is just under 3.5 years. So thank you very much for all your support for that entire period of time. I hope you're doing very well. Thanks for popping in this evening. Stephen, are you trained on your decision-making capabilities selected on them during recruitment? It's very much an important part of CRM decision-making, and we utilise an acronym at my operator, which is very well known, to come to a decision. And you can use decision-making tools for complex decisions such as technical issues, in-flight or engine failures. You could use sort of just a very brief format as well. But yeah, absolutely, decision-making is a very important tool, an accurate decision making is an important tool to be utilised by flight crew when needed to come to a safe outcome. Right, let's load in the flight plan. So we've got EVRA. The only change is the runway, which is runway 05 now for departure, and the SID's going to be a Luged off 05, a Luged to Charlie. So let's go off that one. That's all in, and the arrival now, we're actually expecting, I think, runway 36. I think no, it is runway 18. Or we'll have a look. We'll plan on 18 for now, but we can always switch that later. It's actually usually the Yankees in runway 18, so I'll activate that. Just join up the dots so there's no discontinuity. Doesn't seem to be at the moment. And when we get a little closer to Riga, we can get the ATIS and update the FMC. That will do for now. Execute. Perfect, that's all done. So performance. Yes, this is a bit annoying. It's based off the actual zero fuel weight as the aircraft loads. I just want to get the final zero fuel weight in, which I can get off SimBrief. Thank you for that was. So this is going up incrementally. Let's get the final zero fuel weight. You would never use this as the actual. You put this in as a planned one, but it should be the same in the sim. So we'll put 57.6. Expecting a takeoff weight of 66.4, which is exactly what I'm expecting. Reserves for Gdansk is 3.7 tons. Cost index is 30. Cruising at flight level 370 today. Top climb wind. That's going to be... Oops, where are you? 269 at 32, so a little bit of a headwind for this sector. Top climb ISA is 5 degrees. Transition altitude, we'll put 5001. Execute. Now, my operator, if you're planning on... The actual performance I got from the OPT was 22k with an assumed temperature of 31. At my operator, we use minimum 24k. If we de-ice, so this is a tail strike prevention policy. Just by using a higher thrust setting, you decrease the risk of tail strike. So when we de-ice, we select 24k minimum, so we can easily take that. 0 degrees is the outside air temperature, and the V-speeds for wet runway, I think it's reported as wet, not contaminated, flat 5. We're looking for 34, 41, 47, so slight difference there, so 134... is that based off the actual gross weight? Yeah, it should be now. 134, 141, and 147. Trim is 18.7 CG, 6 units. So let's set that now. Jessica Hunt, thanks for the 22 months as a member. Amazing back in the ZIBO. Seems like it's been a minute since that happened. Yeah, it's been a while. I last streamed it to the members, but last public live stream, yeah, I think over a month ago. So good to be back in here. And as I said, I wasn't actually planning to do the mod one, but with the issues I'm having in Microsoft Flight Simulator right now, I thought, yes, I'm going to abandon it for now. Let's do something which the channel was really built off live streaming, which was the ZIBO mod 737. Right, V-speed is set 147 knots. We'll talk about de-icing shortly, guys. And we'll go from there. So overhead panel, yaw dampers on, nav transfer, display switches, normal auto, fuel, check the crossfeed valve. It was off, then bright and dim, and we've got a ton in the centre, so we'll turn on the centre tank pumps. Dim, bright, and off. There we are. We'll get the APU started because it is 0 degrees. Everyone will be freezing back there. Window heats we can turn on, and engine and wing anti-ice. Trim air's on. Pax auto. Open, 37,000 feet, elevation set. Flight director's on, runway 05. Let's have a look at the runway QDM. Here we are in Hamburg. 047 degrees, so we can set 047 on the heading and courses. There's the APU booting up. Would have probably started that a lot sooner based off the temperature, but you'd feel it and you'd go, yep, let's start that APU. Perfect. Auto brake to RTO. Reset fuel flow. FMC. Jim, you can have legs. And the radio tuning panel. Let's have a look at what the ILS frequency is for 05. Just in case we have to come straight back. It's 1105. That's active. Box 1. And box 2. And the Ulster VOR, which is located on the field, is 15.8. Perfect. Aircraft's all pretty much set up for departure. Radar trim's all good. Ah! Yes, it's gone to Australian mode. It always does that sometimes. There we go. 2 tons. Jim, you can have leg. Brilliant. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving, Christmas. Perfect 99, not been flying online at the same time as you for a while. I hope you've joined along, Perfect 99. Thank you. I've been so busy. Have hardly done much on the channel, but I will be around the next couple of weeks. Can you use a higher thrust setting without recalculating your V speeds? No, if you change your thrust setting, George, you will need to recalculate all your speeds. I hope you're doing well, AstroJoe. Wazy, I hope you're doing well. Where do you download all your add-ons in X-Plane 12? I have very few add-ons now. The plugins I use are far and few between. The main one is Better Pushback and the X-Camera, which are all from the X-Plane forums, I think. And a few other things. That's for the radio tuning panel that I use for aircraft I'm unfamiliar with. That's for the Fly Live overlay, which has made a return because it works absolutely fine for me in X-Plane 12, just not in Microsoft Flight Simulator at the moment too. So yeah, I'm a big fan of using the minimum amount of add-ons when streaming and flying in my respective simulator. Right, let's grab the clearance and we'll then talk about the de-icing procedure. Get an update on the weather too. So 121705. Oops, what? Oh, that's why, 'cause I'm on the wrong way radio. 1217. Yeah, I need to. Why is that changing VHF2 when I've got it set to VHF1? That's annoying. Ah, that's why. I was on the wrong radio. Oops. Oh, looks like everyone's on board. The door has been slammed shut. Looks great in the snow. Look at all the wing. The wing's currently contaminated with snow and ice there. We've got, oh gosh, alpacas everywhere. It's really quite busy here in Hamburg, but yeah, the scenery's looking great. That's him.
15 Hamburg Apron, moin, the exit is 10-4 Bravo via Zulu 1 Blue Line.
Ah, very German here. Oh, I've been locked in. Not here at the moment, 2 tons, not here.
15 Zulu 1 Blue Line. Zulu 1 Blue Line,
Oh, what's my stand? I changed it just before the stream because it was outdated scenery. 05 Bravo. Hamburg ground, very good evening. Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. Stand 05 Bravo. Information Juliet 1002. Departure clearance to Riga, please.
Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. Information November now current. Please check information November. Cleared Riga Aerodrome. Lugek 2 Charlie departure. Flight plan route. Climb via SID 5000 feet. Squawk 2505.
I'll listen to information November, and we are cleared on the 05 Luged 2 Charlie. Climb to 5,000 feet. Squawk 2505. Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike.
24 Zulu Mike, feedback correct departure frequency when passing 2,000 feet. Bremen radar 119.510.
That's copied to once airborne. Will contact Bremen radar 119.510 at 2,000. Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. Perfect, so it's automatic changeover frequency 5,000 feet, squawk 2505. We can get the squawk in now. Perfect, there we are. And the Luged to Charlie. Make a note of that before I accidentally fly the wrong SID. Right then, thanks for subscribing, Captain USA A380, lovely. And welcome on board MV, hope you're doing well. Moin is almost exclusive to Germany, Germany's north. Ah, I did not know that, is that icing on the edges of the windows? Yes, I think it is, and I can't get rid of it in these conditions. Anyway, let's talk about de-icing and anti-icing procedures. So, my airline, we use a 5-step process. First one we check. First one we do is something called a contamination check to basically establish the requirement for de-icing. So looking at that top of the wing, would you say we need to be de-iced, and most likely in these conditions anti-iced as well? I think you know the answer. The answer is yes, and I think it's just the modelling with the mod here. You'd obviously have it on the top of the horizontal stabilizer, the fuselage, and the window as well. So we've established a need to de-ice the aircraft. We have to, otherwise the mod won't work, it won't fly properly. We don't want to have any contamination on top of the wing. So once we've established that, We'll talk to the dispatcher. Every airport's unique. You either do remote de-icing on a part of the airport. We're going to simulate de-icing on stand today. I don't know actually what the procedure is in Hamburg, but we'll do that today. And then you decide. Usually they'll only have one type of fluid. There's different steps of procedures. You can either have a one-step procedure, which removes the contamination and gives you protection as well, or if there's a lot of contamination, you might want to do what they call a two-step procedure. The first step to remove the contamination, the second step to provide an anti-icing fluid on top of the wing to provide something called a holdover time, and this time ensures that you, or if it does start snowing or whatever the current precipitation is, it gives you a time at which the fluid is no longer able to provide protection. It's very conservative. Now, at the moment, based off the latest weather conditions our German friend gave us, which was information November, just getting the latest now. There, information November. So it's currently moderate snow, few at 500, overcast at 1,000 feet. Oh, I've gifted members coming in. Very kind of you, Liam. Thank you very much for your support. Long-term member and moderator of the channel. Thank you very much indeed. Welcome on board to all the new members. You're invited to the Discord. Hope you enjoy your time there. You'll make the next group flight, hopefully next weekend, if all goes well. So yeah, we've established the need for de-icing, and now we're going to go through the de-icing procedure. So, I mean, there's so many different types of de-icing fluid. Is there more coming in? I don't know. There, I think that was the last one. Thank you very much, Liam. Welcome on board, guys. So let me find a holdover time chart for you online, just for a generic fluid. I'm looking for a type 2 fluid. Let's look for kill frost. There's actually a de-icing fluid called kill frost. Where's the table for kill frost? This one will do. So if I somehow share the screen, bear with me. I should have done this prior to the start of the stream. Can you see this? Look here on the right hand side. We'll open that here. Ignore adverts. So this is a generic de-icing form. I tried to use kill frost here. So you check the weather. Let's say it's 0 degrees and above. Light snow. Let's say it's moderate snow, and we're using 100% fluid. The holdover time's between 35 minutes to 1 hour 10. You can choose the more conservative side if you're really not sure. If it's very light, you might move to the left-hand side there. But the most conservative with moderate snow is 1 hour 10 minutes. There is a complex way of calculating the exact time, but I was always told in the manual. Actually, I have an extract here. I have it saved as a screenshot because I remember I had a cadet ask me, but he said basically the holdover timetable gives an indication as to the time frame of protection that could reasonably be expected. It's written by a lawyer under conditions of precipitation. However, due to the many variables that can influence holdover time, these times should be not considered as minimums or maximums, and they can be extended or reduced. The lower limit of the published time is used to indicate the estimated time of protection during moderate precipitation, and the upper limit indicates the estimated time during light precipitation. So, yes. Let's say it's 100%, so 35 minutes in light, 1 hour 10 in moderate. So yes, we'll other audio panels are available, but yeah, we'll go with the least one, 35 minutes today, conservatively. Right. So once we've done that, we start the de-icing anti-icing procedure. Usually, once boarding is complete, we'll go here, and in the mod, it's as simple as just pressing start de-icing. He says, there we go. So if we look outside, oh no, wait, I've jumped the gun here. Before we de-ice, we need to do the de-icing prior to engine start checklist. So APU off unless needed. It is. Flaps up, AP bleed off, which it still is. That's fine. And we then start the de-icing anti-icing procedure. So if you look outside, you'll notice, I think after it's complete, the snow does clear off top of the wing. So that's the only checklist you need to do. Board, maybe a dumb question, but how do you join the Discord? Can't seem to find a link anyway. It's not a dumb question at all, Board. It is under a cloud of mystery. So if you type in Google Discord YouTube synchronization, follow those steps, because it's directly synced with YouTube membership. It takes usually an hour for that to be picked up, and that I don't know how the email gets the link gets sent, but it's via your Discord or something like that, but I actually don't know the process. I need to ask one of you who's actually recently joined what you needed to do. But I know if you go to Google, type in Discord YouTube synchronization and follow those steps, that would work. Dante, so would it be correct then that the use of de-icing is just regarding contamination, and that then even it is below freezing if the aircraft is not contaminated, it is not required. Look, I just want to show you, look, the wing's now clear. That's pretty cool, isn't it, how it models that? So yeah, de-icing is the procedure to remove contamination. Anti-icing is used to protect the plane from contamination. So even if there's no contamination, you might want to get the aircraft anti-iced prior to takeoff, especially if it's snowing. Otherwise, as soon as it starts snowing, you have no holdover time. So it's a bit of any chance of contamination on the wing, you just get anti-iced. Excellent questions. So I'll imagine we've used a one-step Type 2 fluid. Can you see this look as well? This is not very realistic, but the little white lips is because we need engine anti-ice. Look, there's icing on the cowling here. So as soon as you turn the engine anti-ice on, after a few seconds, this disappears and you see the original silver cowling. But yeah, I think that needs to be adjusted slightly. Anyway, looks like the de-icing procedure is almost complete. Whilst that's just before that finishes, we can finish the rest of this setup. So we'll do our briefing. So we'll check the route. Make sure it's all correct. So ground distance, the total ground distance is 542. This says 536. It's about the same. Fuel on arrival. Look at that, 5.5 tons. There's a gargantuan amount of gas, but we need it today. We then do the instrument cross checks, make sure everything is matching. We do our emergency briefing, so our actions in event of an RTO and an engine failure at V1. Taxi then. Let's have a look at the routing here. So we're on stand 05 Bravo. Let's use this one. I should think maybe to face southwest out via here, maybe Golf all the way here to 05. There's potentially loads of different routings up towards the north and then a left turn, but we've planned for this intersection Delta 3. Remind me, what, anyone in chat, ask you a question, what do we need to do in freezing conditions prior to takeoff? Does anyone know? It's to do with the engines. What do we need to do prior to takeoff when it's freezing conditions? Right, looks like the de-icing's complete. We just need to brief the SID and do the checklist. Yep, de-icing's complete. So let's have a look at the post-de-icing checklist. So after 1 minute, you can pop the APU bleed on, and we'll put it on the bus too, so we can get some nice warm air into the cabin. Look at the temperature as well. Oh, that's really cool. It spikes up now, just like the real aircraft. Oh, ZIBO, it's just these little things. Shot of vodka, said Perfect 99. Close the door, said Pete S. Very funny, Pete. Blah, blah, blah. Clear the blades of snow. That's what I want to see. Yes, static run up. Excellent, excellent. Clear the blades. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Right, let's crank the temperature up. And we've done the post de-icing checklist. So the holdover time starts from when the de-icing procedure started. So we'll take the very conservative 35 minutes. So we need to be airborne. That was about 2 minutes ago, wasn't it? So 10 past 11. Remember, we're running 6 hours behind lifetime in the simulator today. Yes, we'll talk about cycling the flaps check controls as well. The aircraft is now completely clear of contamination after the de-icing procedure. Right, just need to brief the SID, and then we will request push and start. So we're off 05. Look at this SID. Straight out, straight line. Lugeg 2 Charlie. Boof! I love these SIDs. Straight line, Delta Hotel 154, max 210 knots, checks in the FMC. It's NADP 1 today, so we need to accelerate at 3,000 feet. We'll contact ATC at 2,000 feet, straight ahead to Delta Hotel 161, and then to Lugeg. It's just a straight line, RNAV SID. There's the note, look, remain on tower until passing 2,000 feet, then contact Bremen radar. There's the frequency, 119,510. EVRA, at what stage did you turn on the pitot heat? So in freezing conditions, sorry, yeah, freezing conditions, I usually turn it on straight away during the pre-flight setup. But yeah, it's the only thing that's different configuration-wise that we do. Right then, so that's the SID. Let's do the safety inspection and before
safety
start
inspection checklist. Surfaces and chocks.
Checked.
Maintenance status.
Checked.
Battery.
On.
Electric hydraulic pumps.
On.
Landing gear lever.
Down.
Ship's library.
Checked.
Safety inspection checklist complete.
Perfect. So yes, we'll be doing, once we've pushed back the before taxi freezing conditions checklist and flows. So I won't actually use this because it is a little bit different. Because we'll be taxiing with the flaps out today. Flaps up today. Right, before start checklist to the line.
Before start checklist to
this
the
is
line.
the same for now.
IRS mode selectors.
Nav.
Gear pins.
Removed.
Light test.
Not again.
Oh no, I didn't actually do that, did I?
Checked.
Oxygen.
Nope.
Not again.
I didn't do that either. Well spotted. Overhead panels looking good. MCP. Excellent. Nothing out of the ordinary. It's a light jet. Test is done. Reset master caution. Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
There we go.
Yaw damper.
On.
Nav transfer and display switches.
Normal and auto.
Fuel.
So we require for this sector minimum 7.6. We have on board 8.8 tons.
Checked.
Fuel pumps.
6 pumps on.
Cabin util IFE galley tower.
Just James, not again.
Emergency exit lights.
Armed.
Fasten belts.
On.
Window heat.
On.
Air conditioning.
PEX auto. Bleeds on.
Pressurization.
So we're cruising at 370, auto bleeds on, and we've got a nice warm temperature. You can see the temperature in the cabin is now beginning to increase.
Set.
Pressurization mode selector.
Auto.
Instruments.
Cross-checked.
Auto brake.
RTO.
Hydraulics.
Normal.
Speed brake.
Be real
Down
pilot.
D10.
Not based
Parking
on this
brake.
performance.
Set.
Stab trim cutout switches.
Normal.
Wheel well fire warning.
This.
Yeah, this is where it gets a bit bugged. See, look, it doesn't recognise it at the moment.
Checked.
Radios, radar and transponder.
That's set and standby.
Set and standby.
Rudder and aileron trim.
3 and 0.
Takeoff briefing.
That is discussed.
Discussed.
PA.
Complete.
Complete.
FMC CDU.
That's set. I've got the takeoff,
Set.
and Jim's got legs.
N1 and IAS bugs.
N1 and IIS auto. V-speed set.
Stab trim.
Set.
Performance, weight and balance.
Ground to cockpit. Toes driving up.
Sounds very apt.
Checked.
EFB.
Airplane mode and stowed.
Phones.
Off.
Flight deck windows and cockpit door.
Closed.
Doors.
Closed.
Passengers.
Seated.
Before start checklist completed to the line.
George, our 737 checklist is actually that long. I did my MCC on a bus, and this is about 5 times longer. Well, yeah, an Airbus. What is it? Tray table, extend, checklist complete. Yeah, this is the checklist. It's loosely based off my operators, and we follow it every single day. Yes, that's all configured. We're now ready to go. We'll just get the tug connected. Just make sure the sim doesn't do anything weird, like put ice back on the wings. We do need engine NTIs on. Ah, there. I thought we'd see one of those. An Airbus A300.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect. Set. Parking brake.
Parking brake is set, yeah. So I'll request. No one blocking me behind. Is the all good? We'll request push and start now. Ground Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, stand 05 Bravo, request push and start.
Go 24 Zulu Mike, startup at Pushback approved, face south, Zulu 1, blue line.
Push start approved, facing south, Zulu 1 onto blue line, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. So south, Zulu 1, blue line, so all the way here, long push onto the line furthest away, which is why I wanted to get the scenery installed here, but I don't know if the default has the weather, but yes, it's all white. The sim, but I'm quite happy that's the blue line there.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
There we are, something like that. Just means 2 aircraft can taxi past each other.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Packs off, anti-collision light on. Parking brake is just set for now, and we'll just do the before start checklist below the line.
Before start checklist below the line. Air conditioning packs.
Off.
Anti-collision light.
On.
Parking brake.
Set.
Transponder.
Out off.
Great question.
Before
Swan.
start checklist complete.
Give me 2 seconds, release the parking brake. So 3 and 0.
Starting pushback, and you may start the engine.
So 0 for the aileron trim is on top of the control column. It's this little scale here, the rudder one you can obviously easily see. And 3 is just making sure when you move it left and right, and the rudder, you actually see movement in the little white triangle. Oh, it's gone to Australian mode. And that you see the control column move with the aileron trim as well. As Perfect 99 sort of said as well. Doesn't it look good? So is this X-Plane... Is this X-Plane 12 then doing all this snow? So it looks really good. Even like off airport you can see it where it's starting to form. And I haven't got any ortho on at the moment today because it was crap weather everywhere. ground power's not disconnected. Ah, yes, on this one it's sort of automatic. Yeah, there's definitely nothing attached. Right, starting engine number 2. Oh, he waited very patiently, didn't he? And 2.
2401 Hamburg, Apron 9, taxi to stand
Oh.
09 via Zulu 3 and Zulu 5.
Oil pressure N1. So when you're starting the engine in freezing conditions, there's not really any restrictions until it gets very cold, sort of below minus 35, which is very unusual in Europe. Oscar, what are the updates? It's a brand new flight model, icing model, mostly bug fixes. Mostly bug fixes. We'll see if we can spot any today. So far, so good. Thanks, Josh. Nice to see you here, buddy. Starter cut out. 1 tree engine number 2. 2463. 2 stable. Starting 1. And the wiper works. Actually clears the... Oh, it's got a very similar course then. Scenery enhancements and weather improvements have been fantastic in X-Plane. Yeah, it looks like it. N2. Oil pressure N1. Fuel in. Check the spar valve. Oh, oh! I'm going onto the blue line, aren't I? Yes, I was getting a bit nervous there. Looks like the snow could be melting slightly, because that looked white earlier.
Hotel Alpha, startup and pushback.
Perfect. Starter cut out, monitoring engine number 1. 2463. 1 stable. There we are.
Operation complete. Please set parking brake.
Perfect, parking brake sets.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Mawson, how's this aircraft compared to the PMDG 737? And would you recommend an X-Plane for someone who has Microsoft Flight Simulator? I'd recommend everyone to try X-Plane, and I'm in no way associated with Laminar Research. I just love how the sim feels. Really good performance. It's so much better now, X-Plane 12, with the graphics. I mean, I know it's not looking as good as Microsoft Flight Simulator, but it looks fine to me. And the mod handles beautifully, really well in comparison to the other aircraft. The PMDG, I think, is a little bit more polished at the moment in Microsoft Flight Sim, but ZIBO's still plugging away fixing bugs in X-Plane 12. But let's see how we get on with it today. There's been so many updates since we last flew it, and I've not done a test sector. Right, so just to help ATC, I'm going to start the before taxi freezing conditions checklist now. You usually have to wait
disconnected and
until you see the pin.
Has been removed. Hand signal on the left. I'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
Perfect. So generator's on. APU is off. Start switch is continuous. Pro beat's already on. Wing and now I am going to turn on wing anti-ice. Usually, if you've been protected, you don't need it on. But you can see here, look, this unrealistic white band is from icing. That should now disappear now I've got the engine anti-ice on. And you get this I need to talk to ZIBO about. You've got the cowl anti-ice light illuminated. So the cowl anti-ice, this is quite a serious issue. This is when there's an overpressure on the engine cowl. So whether it's completely frozen, I don't know. But if this happens in flight, you have to reduce thrust if flight conditions allow. And, you know, fly with reduced thrust settings. So, yeah, I've never seen this before. I think it disappears once the ice melts, so we'll leave that on for now. So that's that bit done. What do we get to? Wing. And wing I'm using because it just stops icing in X-Plane, otherwise you wouldn't use it if you've been de-iced. Pack's auto, isolation valve is auto, APU bleed is off. Flaps now to 5. Sorry, to 40. We'll do a flight control check. Now, if there's contamination on the aircraft, we would delay doing the flap cycle until after de-icing, but there's no contamination, we've been de-iced, so we'll go to flap 40. So when does wing anti-ice get used in flight to remove contamination? It's a de-icer primarily. So you're meant to be obviously monitoring the leading edge. Don't forget, guys, there's 2 needles here, left and right. You want to check those to make sure there's no split. How long does de-icing last, or anti-icing Pascal? It depends on the holdover time. But you can see now, look, the cowling lip is now no longer white, and the cowl anti-ice light has extinguished. There we are, flaps all the way up. We taxi out with the flaps up. Stab trim set for takeoff. Start levers idle attempt. Flight controls check. Recall checked, and we taxi out with flaps up. And that's why I've not done this checklist, because it's based off the normal checklist. And we can now request taxi. Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, request taxi.
Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, taxi via Zulu 1 Blue Line at Bravo 3. Give away to Airbus A320 on Zulu 5, passing from right to left.
Taxi, Zulu 1 Blue Line, hold at Bravo 3, give way to an A320 on Zulu 5, passing from right to left, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. Perfect. So, turn off and taxi's on. So we're going to taxi straight ahead, Blue Line, and we're giving way to an A320 on Zulu 5, going from right to left. Okay. Airbus is always priority. There he is, there's the EasyJet. EasyJets. Right, parking brake released. There's... I've done the big one. I always tell people off in the sim, don't do the config check, because it won't work. Why does the config check cause the config warning horn to go off, ladies and gentlemen? Which reminds me, I could easily forget, because there's no one here to remind me to take off. With the flaps up, George, exactly. Turn that lovely jazz music off. Very good. 4 laps. Stefan's doing the old MD-11. There we are. So we'll just hold shit. Hold here. I tried to say holding short here, and I said sheer instead. And we're giving way to Zulu 5.
Alpaca 24 November Yankee, taxi to correction taxi via Zulu 1 Orange Line at Bravo 3, give away to Boeing 738 on your right.
Dave, I agree with you. I just don't like how aircraft land in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's... yeah, it's very generic.
Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, contact Hamburg Tower 126.855 dabei.
126.855, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, choose.
And 5 Hotel Alpha, push wind
You just feel like you can't mess around with the Germans. Bremen, correction, Hamburg Tower, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, we're on Zulu 1 Blue Line, holding short of Zulu 5.
No, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, hold short of Zulu 5 please, and I call you back shortly.
Hold short Zulu 5, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. Must be some traffic around. There we are. Terrain. Yes, terrain should... yeah, hold on. We should have terrain for Jim and airports. And I should have airports. And when we get to the runway, we can turn on the weather radar. Well spotted. There's Alpaca zooming ahead. In the inferior fleet. Perfect. This is great. I'm enjoying this evening. Hope you're all doing well. A lot of people have tuned in. Another thing as well, thank you very much to everyone that's subscribed to the channel. We're one step closer to 100,000 subscribers. 91,100 last I checked, so thank you very much. I do implore you to subscribe. I want that silver thing. I've got a new shelf up and I want to put my silver play button on it. That's all I want. Ah, dear. It bugs me how planes land in Microsoft Flight Sim. I say that to all my Flight Sim friends. Yeah, it's fine. It does a job, and it looks fantastic. But it, yeah, I mean, I've just flown the 300, and crosswinds are just... You'll see. What's the wind? What's the wind here? Well, we'll see. There's a little bit of a crosswind, but you'll see on my flight controls the inputs I need to make. Very realistic. Don't like the raindrops. Yeah, they've improved. I don't know if there's anything to change them, but they're better than they were. Let's see how they are on takeoff. Am I? No, he's holding short of the runway. I was told to hold short of Zulu 5. Yeah, this he said hold short of Zulu 5, which is there. Flight Ride, did Jack have some turkey for Christmas? He did. So we've got another 15 minutes until we got to be airborne, until our holdover time expires. Just departed from Hamburg en route to Heathrow. Very nice, Skittish. The event starts in 5 minutes in Riga and all the Baltic countries around, so looking forward to that. We actually did a members group flight from Riga not so long ago. Welcome aboard, Shikasni. Hope you're doing well. Sorry if I mispronounced your name there, sir. Who else is around here? Bravo 3, cross 1-5, then Golf, and just confirm the whole point Alpaca 2-4 Zulu Mike.
Delta 1, please.
Delta 1, Alpaca 2-4 Zulu Mike. Bravo 3, cross 1-5, and the next bit was Delta 1. Is that all the way at the end? Oh, it's all the way, basically. It's all the way. Perfect. So parking brake released. And Bravo 3 is the one that's sort of a slight left than right. Basically where the 320 went. Yeah, Europe, it looks very busy on Fat Sim. Friday evening, isn't it? But it's great to be back in the mod again. But look at this snow. Ah, yes. That reminds me, if the taxiway is contaminated, as you see it here, the maximum taxi speed should be 5 knots. I say should. I'm in a desktop simulator. Yeah, the wipers in Explain 12 work, guys. To clear the precipitation, as you'll see on the next wipe. There we go. So there's Bravo 3. Looking good. Will you fly the 737-300 again soon? Yeah, the IXEG, I will when it's updated, but it installs all these plugins and things, which I don't like. Why can't it just be an add-on with no extras? It's like the mod and others. Sounds great. I need to go in here because I can't see where I'm going. Yes, based off recent events, I should be... yeah, runway incursion prevention, clear left, clear right. We're having a really interesting discussion in Discord about the Japan Airlines A350. I mean, obviously, all our thoughts and prayers go to one survived, didn't they, in the Dash 8 and 5 fatalities? Yeah, awful, really. So runway incursion is one of my airlines, what we call key operational risk areas. So we really highlight this as a huge threat. So, you know, one thing is red stop bars, never cross them. The big one we have, which is a great SOP, we have something called a two-phase inter-cockpit call. So whenever we enter an active runway or cross an active runway, the captain must say to the first officer, confirm read back. And the first officer has to read back the clearance, and the captain has to agree. And then you visually check clear left, clear right. And that's before you enter an active runway. So it's really important that airlines, you know, utilise SOPs like this to prevent incursions from happening. So it'll be interesting to hear what came out, but you know, we can only speculate at this stage. I think there was some confirmations by one of the aero safety networks that the Dash 8 did inadvertently line up without clearance, but again, that's just speculation hearsay at this stage. Right then, so we can't do the before takeoff checklist until we're at the hold point. The reason is, look at the second step. It tells you to confirm the flaps. So we have to delay the checklist at the hold point. And what we'll do, we'll tell Tower when we're there, look, we just need 2 minutes at the hold point to configure the aircraft for departure. And then we just tell them we need 30 seconds on the runway as well for the static run-up. Yeah, also Megabyte Gaming, that's another point. The A350 crew, I looked at the weather, it was 10k, it was night, but how they missed it, you know, I've landed at night, I've seen GA aircraft lining up, the strobes are very clear, you know, so yeah. Poskill, what's the reason for not putting the flaps down as normal? Would anyone like to answer that question in chat?
The 1 Tower Charlie later on, there's at the moment an runway crossing at the end of the runway from left to right.
Yeah, we know the stop burns weren't working.
Absolutely,
Absolutely, George. Yeah, there's never one thing in one of these instances. There's a series of events or factors outside of the car control that lead to incidents like this, and the stop bar is one of them. Ice, yeah, ice, snow, precipitation. It's currently moderate snow, so we don't want any snow and ice forming in the flap cavities which they'd be exposed to when it's extended. So we taxi with the flaps up, and then also another one, Steve. Yes, if there's contamination on the taxiway, it prevents them from splashing up into all the flat cavities and bearings and torque tubes and whatnot. So
what was the wind check?
that's right. Yeah, the taxiway looks great with a little bit of contamination on.
9 euro 10, easy 9 feet Romeo.
Fantastic, isn't
1
it?
Tower Charlie, wind 09, 010 knots, runway 15, clear to land. Land runway 15, Lufthansa 1 Tower Charlie. Target 2 for November Yankee line up runway 05, report ready on the runway.
Runway 05 will go up like a 2 for November Yankee.
It's really good.
9 Victor Romeo, vacate Echo 4. Vacating Echo 4, easy 9 Victor Romeo.
So remember, we still need to do the before takeoff checklist. Again, we cannot do anything until we get to the hold point, as we're in freezing conditions. So there's the A320 Alpaca. He's lining up. This payweight, yes, this is the Just Sim Hamburg scenery for X-Plane 11, which I purchased a long time ago. I just copied it into the community folder, and it worked. I'm being hunted down by the looks of it. Nope, this is stock X-Plane 12 weather. Yeah, we're going to have to do some cold temperature corrections in Riga as well.
Alpaca 2 for November Yankee, fully ready.
Minimums, approaching
RGP94, welcome aboard as a member, buddy. Thank you very much for the support to the channel. Glad you enjoy the content. You get invited to our members only Discord. Hope you enjoy using the custom race chat. Thank you very much. Anthony, I've been in the hold so long that Flying Sim has been back flying on the line for 5 years. Sounds busy in Hamburg. So yeah, 6 hours behind live time, guys. Check what? Well, I missed that side. There's the whole point.
degrees, 10 knots, runway 15, clear to land.
I'm expecting it to understand. Excellent. So we can, once we're stationary, do the before takeoff checklist and the post, or the de-icing at the whole point checklist as well. Now this anticipates no delay for departure, but we're going to have delay, maybe a short delay with this 320. So in reality I'd wait here, but I just want to get the aircraft configured in the sim here. So when at the holding points, or after backtrack with no delay, expected for takeoff, complete the checklist below. So flaps to 5. That ain't 5 knots. Conquest Media, shush! Yeah, that's why I was only using him in a tiller. I would have probably gone in a straight line in reality. Correct, 5 knots maximum speed when the runway is contaminated. There we are, flaps to 5, parking brake release, config check, make sure there's no takeoff config warning horn, parking brake set, and then we do the before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist to the line. Config.
Check.
Flaps.
Flaps 5 set, green light.
Stab trim.
Set.
Takeoff briefing.
So, Pax Auto, bleeds on, and engine wing anti-ice on. The speeds are wet speeds 34, 41, 47, set on the MCP. The departure now is the Luget 2 Charlie. It's just a dead straight line, climbing to 5,000 feet, NADP 1. And any problems will climb straight ahead to 3,000 feet, the MSA. And need to do a static run-up, reviewed.
Reviewed.
Cabin.
Secured.
Before takeoff checklist completed to the line.
Perfect. So we can pre-tune the airborne frequency.
Perfect, thank you very much.
There we go.
Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, line up runway 05, report ready.
Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, line up and wait 05, will go. Okay, so confirm read back, A firm Jim, we're clear to line up and wait. Clear left, clear right, and checklist below the line. So that's on, that's off to remind us we've not been cleared to take off. Water throttle, LNAV, transponder to TARA, and weather radar on. Weather radar's still a bit buggy in the sim. Shame.
Before takeoff checklist below the line, MCP,
Set
transponder,
TARA
strobe lights,
on,
landing lights.
on.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Good, so we're just waiting for the takeoff clearance. That's all that is left. Sim's looking great. So now we wait for takeoff clearance. We'll advise tower we need 30 seconds for the static lineup. Or static run-up, I should say. There we are, slightly right of centre line.
Lufthansa 9 Papa, good evening. Currently, I was suffering from my 1.5.
How to get weather radar? Get explain 12. But it's not very accurate at the moment in the sim. I wouldn't recommend it.
Echo 4,
It's just this green blur.
Zulu Mike, able for quick one.
AFM Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike.
Runway 24, sorry, 09.
It'll be a quick static run up.
Runway 05, cleared immediate takeoff.
05 cleared takeoff, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. We're doing a running, you would never do this in real life.
Call you back.
Doing a static run up whilst moving because we've got an intersection departure, guys. Should have said, what should I have said? No, unable. That'll do, look, everything looks good. Set takeoff thrust.
80 knots.
Checked. Little bit of left rudder in. Hands off thrust levers.
Rotate.
Up we go. Oh, a two-stage rotation. There's the dead band. Very nice. Gears up. That's a very illegal static run up, but we're able.
400.
LNAV. There's an automatic changeover frequency at 2,000 feet. I'll change over now. Horrible
1,000.
day. So we're not bugging up yet. Gotta do this. Oh, look at the top of my wing! Right, just because of X-Plane doing its thing, I'm putting wing anti-ice on because it was completely contaminated. Ooh, what is going on here? Have I got airspeed unreliable or something silly? Look at my airspeed. That doesn't make sense. Bug up. Oh, that's not working either. Okay, let me bug up here. I think it could be just the mod. Yeah, because I've lowered the nose and it is accelerating. Flap 1. Contact departures. And flaps up. Bremen, hello, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike on the Luget 2 Charlie, 3,100 for 5,000 feet.
Takeoff 24 Zulu Mike, Bremen, good evening, identified line, flight level 100.
Flight level 100, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. Flight directors were doing something really weird there. They're sort of commanding a lower speed. Well, a lower attitude, so when the speed was increasing. Speed 220 knots, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. That's fine. Bug 220. Level change for now. Now, flaps up, no lights. Just get this aircraft in trim for 220 knots. That's better. Set standard. God, look at this weather. It's horrible. Passing 5-1, flight level 100. Oh, it's very sensitive in pitch. Something's changed here. Oh yeah, I need to look at that. I made a very small pitch input and it shot up there. Right, pretty much bang in trim there, so make sure to get it in trim, get it onto the flight director, it's in trim, so no input required, and the autopilot will go straight in. There we are, Command A, and let's do the after takeoff checklist. Gears off, water brakes off. I'm going to leave wing anti-ice on because of X-Plane 12. Conditioning pressurization 2.2. It's like Microsoft Flight Simulator was when it was released, and ridiculously excessive icing. Set. Release the crew. There we are. Standard set passing 7.5 flight level 100. I'll go to VNAV and I'm going to set target speed to 220 knots below 100. There we are. There we go. After takeoff checks complete. Perfect. Sam W parking brake. Yeah, remember to release that one. Helicopter just downloaded now. The NWE upgrade for X-Plane 12. I think that's what it is. Climb flight level 240, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. Set. Roger, maintaining 220 until advised, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. So I'm going to go VNAV and speed window, that just ensures the aircraft maintains 220 knots. Yeah, the icing there on top of the wing. Ooh, is that sort of like... Sorry about your ears, guys. I thought I saw some partial... Oh! Someone's bought an Alpaca Airways apron! What a distraction. Thank you, Ross. A blue Alpaca Airways apron on your way, sir. Your wife will be most impressed. Thank you indeed. Oh dear. Right, we're almost out of icing conditions now. Yeah, that big chunk of white ice on top of the wing was... I don't know, maybe we exceeded the holdover time. No, the holdover time only exceeded now. But it's all clean. Free speed, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. So we can close the speed window. The aircraft will now climb at the Econ climb speed now, which is 266 knots. So yes, the wing anti-ice we can now take off, and I'll just wait until we're top of the clouds here. Some funky clouds still in X-Plane 12, it would seem. We'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, takeoff was good. The pitch sensitivity is much higher than it was. We still have this incredibly dark cockpit area, so this is obviously nice with the light coming in, but this is too dark. I can barely see it. But the handling was good, the rotation was good, the takeoff was nice, but very sensitive in pitch, which I think caught me out in the initial rotation because I started pitching up, and then I took a bit of back pressure off, but a little bit too much, which is why it stopped rotating. Hey Ross, yes I did it, it's for me, there's no way I'm sharing that with one. Anyone, brilliant. I can't wait to see you sporting it. 122.8, thank you for the ATC Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, bye. There we are, over to Unicom guys. On the way to Riga, ETA, oh yes, we've just got to add, or subtract, sorry, add 6 hours, it's going to be 6:22. If you put engine anti-ice on, do you have to have start switches in continuous? Yes. Oops. Did I not do that? My apologies. I forgot. I turned the start switches off on the after takeoff checklist, which was automatically done. We shouldn't with the engine anti-ice on. Well spotted. And that's a mistake I, of course, did on purpose. But now we need the engine anti-ice back on. There we go. Yeah, we've got all this icing here. That's the sign of sort of center pumps flickering. We'll turn those off. That's sort of anticipation of need of wing anti-ice. Look at the windows all. Are they? Is that meant to be ice as well? You wouldn't get ice there in flight. Oh well. It's just. I think the icing is a little bit. You turned them off. No, I didn't, Daniel. What are you on about? It was a test, exactly, and it was spotted by Ed Chen. He passed. Welcome. Passed the test. Welcome on board Love Store. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Welcome indeed. If you put engine anti-ice, did you? Yes, that's what I answered. I thought an apron would be a mat to park your model planes on. No, call it apron in English. Right, we're just going to keep the engine anti-ice on again as we fly through this cloud with the somewhat questionable icing we're receiving in the sim. But yeah, when we bugged up and accelerated, or sorry, prior to that, we were already doing 200 knots. I was following the flight director, so something was a bit amiss there. The flight director should be commanding around V2 plus 20 approximately for 2 engines, but it was commanding, well, accelerated to almost the up speed, and then we retracted the flaps, and then I went and did the external view and noticed a white wing, which made me think there's some sort of weird icing thing going on in X-plane. So yes, let's see how the flight progresses, especially when we descend into Riga. But I think the weather in Riga is as bad as it is in Hamburg. That's pretty awful conditions we took off from. There we go. Thank you very much, not in becoming a member IGP94, but for donating as well. 30, very generous of you, 20, sir. 10. Ooh, let's see what they do for you, yeah. Bit of turbulence here.
Smiley face, can't wait FDR the flight next week to JFK. The de-icing will take ages on the 747. At least I don't have to mind the cargo behind getting bored.
Brilliant. That's amazing. Are you operator? I don't know. Can't wait for the flight next week to JFK. De-icing will take ages on the 74. At least I don't have to mind the cargo behind getting bored. Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for your donation. Yes, well, I don't know how many litres of de-icing fluid it's needed to de-ice a contaminated 747. I once had a very contaminated 8200 Max, and we de-iced the aircraft, and it used around 1500 litres of de-icing fluid. So that was a lot more than usual. Usually you would have to have a lot less, but we only had one-step procedure available, which usually uses a lot more fluid. Captain Bannering reference there, brilliant. Do you prefer the ZIBO of the level ups? Said Victor Silva. I've not flown the level. Is the level up still being updated? I've not tried it in ages. I don't know. Anyway, we'll set 370 the cruise level, and we'll go from there. Oops, I forgot to blank the lower DU as well. There we are. ETA just over an hour, and looks like we're out of icing conditions. Let's have a look at the plane. Looks clean. +1 for that view in it. Microsoft Flight Simulator. Brilliant. It's just a dead straight line for a while as we depart east from Bremen. We'll be heading north initially towards Copenhagen, and then right over the Baltic Sea all the way to Riga. We sort of avoid Kaliningrad airspace at the moment for obvious reasons. The level up still needs to be updated. Brilliant. Oh really, it's being updated and tested. Interesting. Darius, Felis 742 when? Soon. Has Felis been keeping up with the updates of X-Plane 12 like ZIBO? Because we all love a Felis 747 stream. They are very popular on the channel. They always get a lot of views post-stream as well. And we've flown Concorde. The Colomata Concorde won't be flown again until that's been updated, because that is not working in X-Plane 12 right now. So yes, I think the Felis 74 will make an appearance in the next 2 weeks. Etchin, I'm a real Capajou and line inspector. Don't know what you're saying there, sir. Toga, hello Captain. Real life in the 737 you're able to see the glare shield, in the sense that now the view you have on X-Plane 12 or Microsoft Flight Sim reflects more or less where you sat in reality. I'm a tad lower in Microsoft Flight Sim 8 and X-Plane 12, but obviously the perspective is a flat screen. If I was to replicate my exact seat position, you see just the top of it. Imagine a piece of A4 paper is on top of the glare shield. You want to see neither the top or the bottom, so it's sort of like that. That's probably a more realistic shot I have, where in the sim I have, well, it's about the same actually. Yeah, to be fair, it's actually not far off. I'd say it's pretty much there, Yeah, this is the thing I'm not getting in the mod at the moment. What is this? It's like someone's gotten some of that fairy spray paint of icing around the window. you should get none of that. These 4 windows are heated. L2, L1, R1 and R2. This is unheated. You can get a bit of icing on that in sort of moderate icing, but these are usually always clear. If you're in icing conditions, they'll form, but it will melt quite quickly as soon as you're out of the icing conditions. Level Up is not available yet for Explain 12. Oh, well, when it's been updated, we'll definitely have a look. Yes, Fearless is updated for 12, even has some failures. Oh, we've flown it in 12 AstroTube, but there's been a lot of updates in Explain 12 since we last flew it. And I know he's implemented, is it Engine Surge or something like that, which is quite cool. Daniel, will you get the FS Labs Concorde when it comes to Microsoft Flight Sim? It looks like it'll be 5 times more realistic than the Colomata. Absolutely, I think that is the quintessential Concorde in Flight Sim. It's in P3D at the moment, isn't it? So yeah, as soon as that comes over, of course, we'll take that for a spin. I must ask, anyone here that uses Microsoft Flight Simulator, have you had any increases in instability since SU14? Because I'm having a lot of issues at the moment. It started with the Vulcan stream I did a month ago, where I had about 4 crashes in one stream. I uninstalled the Vulcan, and then I planned a PMDG 737 stream. Then the crashes continued. I removed FSUI PC, which I use for the overlay you see above you in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Then it stopped. Flew the InnyBuilds A300 pre-release from InnyBuilds with no issues, and last night when I turned my PC on for the first time in about 2 weeks, or weeks since the last stream, I just had crash after crash after crash. And it was when I went outside here, let me just turn the sound down, I'd go outside like this and I'd start spamming the camera around and it would just crash. Anyway, look, I'm not doing a good job here. Look, we're just past 30,000 feet and I've not turned any of the lights off and done the pre-cruise check. So fuel 4 pumps. We've got 2 on board. Lights can come off. APU's off. Pressurization diff is 7.2 and set. Release the belts. Recall. There we are. Make sure we're monitoring 1215, and we'd then log into CPDLC. The pre-cruise check is complete. I've been right now. I'm a trainer. I'm in the sim every duty. I've not flown much in the last 3 months, so the chance of slip-ups is very high. Let's have a look here. Yes, you're getting crash to desktop, Sue Ross. Have you updated your BIOS? Fixed my crash desktops in Microsoft Flight Simulator. How do you update your BIOS, see average? That's pre-boot up PC stuff, isn't it? Sadly, there's a billion reasons for crash to desktop in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I know, Peter. I've gone as far as uninstalling everything. All I have right now in Microsoft Flight Simulator is the PMDG 737, and that is it. Nothing else. But yeah, like Lightspeed just said, some people are having no issues. I'm having multiple stability issues. I've looked at some other streamers seem to be getting on just fine. Every PC is slightly different. I think I have a decent enough graphics card to run it. I've turned the settings down. I'm just still getting them. You've not had any issues in the PMDG 737. Yeah, could be something laying in my community folder I don't know about. We'll see. Hugo, as a trainer, what tips do you have to learn flows, vital actions and procedures? Well, everyone has different ways of learning, Hugo. My way is usually to write it down a few times, and then, you know, I'll speak to my girlfriend and give her a cue card, and I'll say, look, can I just say this multiple times? That's the way I usually learn it. I have in my desk, if you are interested, guys, just to show you, let me just turn on Yoga Cam. And I've had this for years and years and years. This is... It's all a bit like tatty now, look. These are all our memory items. So every few days, or if I'm teaching in the sim, I'll just choose one. So for example, engine overheat, look, you can't really see it. And on the back, I have the memory items, which is thrust lever, confirm, close, and then... oh, sorry, auto throttle, if it did it wrong. Auto throttle, disengage, thrust lever, close. If the overheat light stays illuminated, do the engine fire speed damage drill. So that's my sort of way. I've got all the memory items there, limitations as well, and I sort of I just sort of reference that occasionally. Flight data sim handwriting reveal. I think I've done loads of my notes before. Yeah, 0321 Short, have you updated your graphics card? Yeah, everything's up to date. Latest graphics, NVIDIA graphics card. I've turned off this. I looked at some settings. So I use Microsoft Flight Sim in TAA, DX11. I've turned off now because I saw a lot of people had crashing issues with this. Is it super sampling or whatever? Low latency. So I've turned that off. But it seemed to improve things. But yeah, it was strangely. I jumped into the EDDH A300 release version, and that was causing loads of crashes. I then jumped into PMDG 737 with some guys in Discord, and that didn't actually crash after the changes I made. So I think some people looking at the EDDH Discord, only some, are having issues with the aircraft. I think EDDH have quoted Navigraph integration issues or something along those lines. But the EDDH A300 for me right now is unusable in Microsoft Flight Simulator. The PMDG 737 seemed to be working when I tried it, and you know, when I was in the EDDH A300, I could force a crash. I literally went outside and sort of panned around like this, and it was usually to do with panning around. And I think the VRAM on the graphics card spiked, and then it just cut out. But no issues in any other program I run. It's only Microsoft Flight Simulator. No issues in X-Plane, no issues in any other game or anything. So anyway, I digress. Mad Matt UK, Happy New Year, flying in Sim, and to everyone in chat. Last night I was watching a streamer fly Learjet 35. His landing last night makes all your muck-ups appear tame. Oh dear. I hope you had a great Christmas. Well, look, everyone, if you're learning a new aircraft, you make mistakes, and you know, I did a low pass and go around in Concorde about 3 weeks ago, and just nicked the tail on my low pass and go around, and we all make mistakes. But yet to have a full-blown crash in a commercial jet airliner in a stream. Are you Windows 10 or 11? Actually, I think it's Windows 10. What? No, what is it? I don't even know. Not the latest one. Windows 10. Windows 10. I don't even know these things. Eros, does the NVIDIA super sampling make your sim look very blurry? For my instruments are unreadable with it. RTX 4070. Yes. DLSS, I can't look at the screen, so I use TAA. Need to update your Uber Jebba, what's it? Yeah, that pretty much that's what I refer to everything in a computer as. Oh, it's a good job I didn't download Ortho. It's only a little bit of where are we? Denmark over there, look. Coming into Sweden over the Baltic Sea. I didn't get any Ortho for Riga, guys. As I said, I only switched to streaming in the mod last minute, as I couldn't get the 800 to work. Anyway, we're well on our way now to Latvia. We'll detune the ILS, go for the VOR back in Hamburg for now. The weather radar I've got off because it's just not really the most realistic, and neither is that. What on earth is this? What happened to the terrain? It was working just fine earlier, and it was working when I was playing around with it earlier. Is that a database issue? Oh dear. But yeah, the aircraft seems to be handling well. 37,000 feet, altitude's around 2.5 degrees to climb. Performance is poor. That's very normal at this altitude. Looking good. IGP, thank you very much for your donation. Do be patient with it. It does take a few minutes to ping through donations these days, but I have no idea. Thank you very much indeed. Oh yeah, was it V1? Oh, did V1? Oh, that means I can watch the video and give him some banter. V1 very kindly emailed me yesterday or 2 days ago because I was asking him about the issues. If he was having any issues in Microsoft Flight Sim, and fortunately for him, he's not. Which I'm, good. I'm really happy for. And mine's just not working. And I'm like, oh, V1, I don't know what to do. It was more to do with his Fly Live overlay and how he was getting it to work. But he's using FSU IPC and no issues. So I need to get to the bottom of what's going on.
40,
Thank you, IGP94.
20,
Here is Nightbots.
10.
Thank you very much for your generosity. One to go.
Nothing compares with FD2's streamer's learning for the 777 type rating on a cold Friday night. Smiley face. Congrats for the community you built here.
Built here. Thank you very much. Very generous of you. Congratulations to getting onto your 777 type rating as well. Very exciting. May I confirm that nothing you watch here should be used to educate yourself on any commercial flying rules, regulations, SOPs, procedures. Purely here for entertainment, your entertainment. Thank you very much for your donation. Very kind. Good luck as I said, for your triple rating. Oh yeah, so we'll have to give V1 speed some banter. Did he have a little bit of a bad terrain data? Oh no, sorry, Cron. I thought that might be V1. Cron said turn bad terrain data off in plugin settings. Okay, I'll have a look at that. You should ask V1 about his VATSIM situation. Quite a story here. Oh dear, oh dear. I'll give him some banter then. My ribs to Lake, you've heard of a circle to land. Well, now there is a circle to the apron to Kangaroo for good measure. He got it right at the end. I think he'll appreciate if I share the stream with everyone, and I think he'll appreciate the exposure anyway. I've got to. Let's have a look at V1 simulations. Is he streaming? Oh, he's streaming in 30 minutes. Stay here. No, I'm joking. Let's have a look at what happened yesterday. Must be something time stamped. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, and it was at night. Okay, fair enough. It's a Las Vegas. Okay, I was expecting some dodgy mountainous strip. Did he land on the taxiway? Oh no, he didn't. Maybe I'm watching the wrong video. Or was it a different sector? Oh, it was 2 streams ago. Got you. Okay, let's have a look here. One, two. It was a daytime flight.
Now here's the other thing. So vertical speed.
Here's this American voice. Oh, I think I found it. Let's have a look here if you want to know if it did a circle. It looks okay. Right, he'll appreciate this. Yeah, we've got to go over to his chat and say we're just watching your video in a stream. Let's have a look here. Let me put it full screen, cinema mode at least. Let's see what he did. This is a real airline pilot, a real
trees
captain.
aren't there in real life, and the poppies are way off, and it's a short runway, so this is where things get sketchy.
Oh, it does look short there. What's his speed? Oh, he's doing 150 knots in an Learjet. Does this feel a little fast? I think he used to fly these. Yeah, I can see why this might not work. Oh my days. It's a bit stuttery, isn't it? Ooh. Touchdown a little long, but okay.
There's so much crosswind from the right.
He's still
full
doing.
left.
He's not doing
Full
100
left on
knots.
everything.
Ah.
A little left. Oh no. Oh no. Our reversers didn't arm. Rip.
Oh! Right, I've not done anything like that in 5 years of streaming.
I never get this parking spot. I never get this parking spot.
That'll do. Brilliant. Oh, poor guy. You did not. I'm gonna go. We're giving some banter. Victor, you only tell strike to Concorde in Rio and forgot the gear. No, what you want to? It was a low passing go around. Anyway, yeah, look, how are we progressing? Let's do some fuel and time checks. We're approaching the Baltic Sea here. No one on VATSIM on this area of the world. Approaching Elvix here. Let's do a little fuel and time check. We've got some aircraft around as well. Ooh. Let's have a look. We've got aircraft ahead. I think we can actually see his contrail. There he is. Look. That's the Alpaca A320, I believe. Let's have a little look outside. Someone a little bit higher as well. Oh, where is he? Where is he? I can't see him. Somewhere around there. No self-promo. Savage doing this live on the stream, I know. To his credit, he got it after 2 more tries. Andre, hey Captain, since you're watching him, have you heard about V1's ban from VATSIM? What do you think about it as another VATSIM streamer? Oh, really? Well, look, I'm not... I don't want to discuss that on here. I have no idea about that. But, yeah, whatever happened, I hope he gets it sorted. Grog, I'd like to see what visuals do you use for X-Plane 12 or any visual plugins recently upgraded? And to be honest, my X-Plane 11 looked far better maxed out. Yeah, I think right now with X-Plane 11, lots of those add-ons you had, such as... Well, I never used any of them, but X-Plane 12 here is vanilla. I don't like using any of this. Astro, he was banned for using a fake name. Oh, okay. Alright. Yes, I think that is within the requirements of VATSIM, but I do use my name. It's no real secret. I mean, if you're really that desperate to find out who I am, you can easily find out, but I'm not as bothered as about it as I was about 3 or 4 maybe years ago. Partly because no one actually has any objections to it. My employer doesn't have any objections. It's just a personal choice for me. My life and what I do outside of streaming is private, and I don't wish to share every element of that. Of course, you'll see the odd video of if I'm maybe in a place and I'll take a picture, or Jack is a very popular member of the channel, so you'll see things like this. But yes, I hope he gets it sorted. Kieran, hope you're doing well. Just joined. Fancied a 5-minute rest from ATPL flight training. Fantastic. Hope it all goes well and best up with your exams. I've completely missed that fuel check at Elvix because we were sidetracked with conversation. But we can see here by pressing progress that at Elvix we had 6.6 tons. We were at 1134. Bearing in mind we took off 6 hours earlier. It doesn't matter though in this. We're just looking for the time elapsed. There it is, Elvix, so 26:30, there's about 2 minutes ago, so maybe a minute or 2 late, that's fine. 220 knots in the climb, a bit slower, that would equate for that. We should have 5.4, we took an extra 1200 kilos, so we're looking to have 6.6 tons of fuel, we've got 6.5, perfect, makes sense. Elvix, we should have burnt 2.2 tons, we've burnt right now 2.3, and we've only just passed it, so that looks good. Fuel time checks, all a-okay. Did you hear Jack? No, you didn't. He's not here at the moment. What's up with the ice? Yeah, we're just talking about this Lister bin. I don't know. That should have cleared by now, especially these 4 as they are heated. Exactly, Perfect 99. That's exactly what I do. Steve M, it's the ZIBO cake with all the icing. Brilliant. Ah, yes, the icing around the side. I see what you did there. Excellent. Right, let's have a look on the VATSIM network. Let's see how busy. How many arrivals into Riga this evening? There is a VAT. Oops. What did I just do that? Don't know. There is a VATSIM event going on. I should also have continuous set on the M1 limit page. Chase B, approaching 100,000 subscribers. Do you have a 100,000 subscribers special? I will do a charity stream. It will be quite a long enduring charity stream as well for 100,000 subscribers. If you're new to the channel, every time since we passed 50,000 subscribers I've done a charity stream at 60, 70, 80 and 90,000 subscribers, and a couple of extra charity streams here and there. I think, what do we raise now? It's an insane number of funds. If you go to my YouTube homepage playlist, search for charity, the charity stream playlist, it is balmy, if I can find it. I sorted out all my playlists a while back, and there it's lost on the list. We've raised £26,630 in total. So yeah, we'll do some sort of long haul or endurance. I'll probably do a long haul, like an ultra long haul. I want to keep the stream less than 12 hours, because you can stream longer than 12 hours, but it only lists it if it's less than 12. So maybe something like around a 9 hour, yeah, across the pond length, but I'll do it in something a bit tricky, maybe the fee list 200, so I'm going to think about it. Maybe if the, we'll see. I hope if I can get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I'll be dead chuffed. The channel typically grows around 6,000 to 7,000 subscribers. You know, I'm not one of these people that has the spare time to upload 5 videos a week. I just have so much going on in my life, and as much as I do love streaming and making content, you know, you only live once, and I want to go see the world and spend time with my girlfriend and do some great things. So, but yeah, if you could love to share the content, that would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, if we can get to 100,000 by the end of the year, that would be superb. That's the target anyway, and I will be streaming a bit more in the next 2 weeks as I am off as well. But yeah, I'm off again in April, but I am going to go on holiday. We haven't booked anything yet, but we'll have to look around. Sydney to Heathrow in the Dreamliner, that will be long haul. Is the Indy Builds A350 releasing this year? Not sure, Victor. It's well under I think it's well on the way of being developed now. Perfect. Fearless to Kaitak. It's not. There isn't a decent version in X-Plane 12 though, and the one that's available in X-Plane 11 I never used because it was very complicated to install. Whereas in Microsoft Flight Simulator, they've got the installation of stuff down to a T. It's great. Community folder, boom, done. That's it. Yeah, that is. Now, that's a good point there, Johan Jacobs. You could make a new stream at the 11-hour mark. The problem is, when you make a charity stream and you link it to a stream, you can only do it to one stream. So I link it with Just Giving. Just Giving has all this software you can download, and it links to your Streamlabs. So when someone donates to the charity page, it pings up a notification, which I really like. So if you to do 2 streams, you'd have to set up 2 charity pages, and that just doesn't really work. So I would have to fit it in a 12-hour stream. But trust me, anything over 12 hours, I don't think I'll be able to keep going anyway. So it is a good max limit. But yeah, I'll aim a nice long haul, probably an 8-9 hour sector, because by the time I've set it up and read everything, it'll go. But yeah, we're a long way off that, and I'll probably do some long streams between then anyway. So. We'll keep an eye out on the events and whatnot. Right, where's top of descent? Still 170 miles. We'll start setting up shortly. We'll see what the weather's doing in Riga now. Very cold, I should think, this time of year. So you can actually get weather via the ATIS if VATSIM's online. There we are. So information Charlie, 17:20, so 20 minutes ago. Expect ILS Yankee, runway 18. Okay, let's make a note of that so I know. ILS Yankee 18. Transition level 65. Excuse me, surface winds calm, visibility 10k, light showers of snow, few at 200, scattered CBs, overcast at 4,600, minus 12. QNH 1005. So we do need to make some cold temperature corrections, guys, to all altitudes below the MSA. So let's preset the QNH first, which is 1005. There we go. And we'll talk about cold temperature corrections. In fact, if you're interested in how to make cold temperature corrections, I can share a link with you. I'm not oh no, wait, where is it? There it is. So yeah, unfortunately in Microsoft Flight Simulator, there's very little point to making cold temperature corrections because cold temperature altimetry area is not modelled. So if you make temperature corrections, you're just adding to your height. Whereas in X-Plane, thankfully, cold temperature corrections, as far as I know, unless it's changed, work. And I tested this in this tutorial which I've just posted. Is that link working? Or is that just posted gobbledygook? It does this sometimes, I've noticed. When you share a video, it doesn't recognise it as a link. Wait, link works, yeah. It won't let me highlight on mine. That's strange. Yeah, it's working. So yeah, that's what we're going to be applying today in the ZIBO mod 737 to ensure we don't end up going too low, because cold temperature makes an altimeter underread. Sorry, no, let me get this right. Overread. So you're actually lower than what the altimeter is saying, and when the temperature starts getting really cold, the error increases hugely, and the error grows the further you are from the altimetry source, aka the elevation. So I'll make those corrections to ensure that we don't end up low, but Riga doesn't have too many terrain issues, if I remember rightly. I think it's quite flat in the surrounding area. Just checking ILS Yankee, the chart. Yes, the MSA highest is 2,300, so you're not going to have any terrain issues around here. Victor, can you get ATIS via ACARS in real life? Absolutely, yes, you can fetch the latest ATIS from ACARS. Very useful. Superb. So yes, I'll probably crack out another stream on Sunday evening, if not Sunday, Monday. I've got a couple of videos I want to make as well, sort of talk a little bit about the switches on the overhead panel, if they're modelled, that is. I'd like to talk about EFIS panel failures and things like that. I want to do a bit of a detailed go-around tutorial, because my first ever video, the go-around, is very old and I want to update it, so I'm going to do an updated tutorial on go-arounds and talk about not only the go-around manoeuvre itself, but what the system's doing, because it's something a lot of people have asked for. So that's the plan. Maybe I'll blow the dust off the second channel, because I want to play some City Skylines 2. Right, anyway, yes, I asked the question earlier, how many aircraft are inbound to Riga? Let's have a look here. Oh, my phone is going on a little slow. Looks quite busy around there. Arrivals 36, not bad. Not too quiet, not too busy, just right. Let's start setting up for the approach then. 130 miles, we'll do it nice and early. So Jim has controls, we'll go to the descent page, 250 below 100. Forecast, we can fetch the information from the flight plan, so we don't have to insert it manually, which is fantastic. Oh, Emily, sorry to hear you got stomach cramps. Load. Winds are in, QNH is 1005. Now the visibility is 10k, but with a few clouds at 200 feet, technically define that as IMC, but I am going to configure it 5 miles today, and the ATIS was runway 18, so 10 miles, 5 miles. We're at 37,000 feet, so we can work out where our top of descent is roughly by timesing. Altitude by 337, that's going to be 111. Should be roughly where top of descent coincides with. There we go. Let's check the arrival for runway 18, which should be an Orvix 2 Sierra. Now, what did I select here? Orvix 2 Sierra, so let's have a look at the start. I don't think the full arrival's in yet. So the Orvix 2 Sierra starts at Orvix. We've got 280 knots or below between 15 and 140, which checks the FMC. Just put this to plan so I can step through it. But get in the right position so you can see everything in the mod. There we are, so Orvix RA640 below 125, checks the FMC. Then we have RA641, max 240, 100 to 80. Vesco, max 230, and then it's to Tikak. And then from Tikak, we can do the transition via LiftC, which I forgot to put in. So arrivals, ILS Yankee, LiftC, execute. There we are. So it's just put that lovely point in here. And these RNAV points work out roughly what we can expect, even if we get vectors instead of the transition. So that's all in, no discontinuities via LiftC onto ILS Yankee. So what else does it say on the arrival? It's RNAV. It should be RNAV based anyway. RNAV GNSS arrival. Approach without radar controls carried out via the VORs. We'll have radar today. Big vary of the constraints of the stars, which we have. We've checked they're all coded, and that will take us all the way to Tikak at 5,000 feet. And there it is, Tikak 5,000. That actually will leave you quite low, Tikak in that position. Well, yeah, not too far off the target, but then we'll get vectors towards LiftC, and then we will go to Aknes onto the ILS Yankee, which is what the ATIS said. So 1111, That checks in the FMC, so that's tune that. 1111111. The VOR can go on active on standby. The Riga VOR 14.0. There we go. Courses up here on the chart 175 degrees. 175. And the minimums then. Right then, question. Cold temperature corrections. Have a look at this. 233 feet. Let's find the table. It's a generic table for all aircraft, doesn't matter. Let's get the ICAO one. That's fine. Or the FAA, doesn't matter. So the temperature is minus 12. Okay, minus 12. Just share the screen again. Now why is that not picking that up? For some reason it's not letting me share the screen. It's weird. No, Spotify, don't want to show that. No, for some reason it's not letting me share Chrome anymore. Let me just close it again, reopen it. That's weird. Right guys, I can't share Chrome, it won't come up as a window on my source on it. Streamlabs, so basically there's a cold temperature correction table you need to reference. If you go to Google and type in cold temperature correction table, you'll find it. Why that's not coming up, I don't know. It's stuck on the de-icing one that we were using earlier, but it won't let me change it to anything. Oh, I don't know. There's a table, and we had to add a temperature correction, and it's based off the aerodrome elevation. So if you type in cold temperature correction, have a look at 200 feet, because the minimums here are 200 feet AGL. You let me know how many feet I need to add to the minimums based off this cold temperature correction. That is not correct, Zach. Open your EFB. It's not in my EFB. Well, I know I've got the EFB. Oh, I could just share my screen with my iPad. Yeah, conservatively... no, it is minus 10. Yeah, correct. 30 feet. You got it, Zach. That is the correct answer. Why I can't share Chrome, I don't know. I'm just going to try a new source in Streamlabs. Oh, I'm sorry. It usually just works. Browser source. Let's try that. No, no, I don't want that one. Settings. Yeah, it's just not picking it up anymore. Ah, hold on. Yay! I got it to work. There we go. So there's a cold temperature correction. Right. Minimums are 200 feet. And it's minus 10. Yeah, it is 20. If you interpolate it, it's like probably something else. But we'll add 30 to be conservative. So we have to add 30 feet to the minimum. So looking at the charts, alright, just move this over there. What would we add to our minimums? 30 feet. So you'd add 30 feet to this. New minimums would be 263. And that's how we cold temperature correct. We do that to all temperatures below the temperature corrected MSA. So we even temperature correct the MSA as well. So 263 is the new minimums. And we need to work out the temperature correction for the MSA. So if you have a look here, the MSA, let's look at the highest. It's 2,300 feet. Now the elevation here is, oh, I've had some ping as well. Let's call it sea level. So just looking there, 2,300 feet. Have a look at the table. What's the temperature corrected MSA for 2,300 feet? Base it off minus 10. What would we add to the MSA? contact ATC whilst you work that out.
Sorry,
230, that's it, yeah, 220, 230, that's it. So you add the 2,000 feet first, 200, plus the 30 feet here. So 230 feet. So the actual MSA is 2,530 feet. And that's important because you need to change all altitudes below 2,530 feet. Which is, well, I'm not going to bother with this, but we'll change the height of the FAF, okay? Which you can do if it's not non-RNAV. And that's how you do cold temperature corrections. Ovix 2 Golf, I was expecting a 2 Sierra. So let's look at our difference, our arrival. Why did you add those 300 to 2,000? Because the elevation UROS is going to take into account, and the actual MSA. Well, no, sorry. The MSA was, or is 2,300, so you don't add 2,000. So there you go. You need to add 2,300, not just 2,000. Ovix 2 Golf, thank you for that. Okay, Ovix 2 Golf, I'll change that now. So it's a slightly different RNAV arrival that takes you straight into the air runway.
Finner 525, climbing at flight level 350.
There you go, very similar. Oops, have I got a duplication there? Yeah, I've got a duplication there, so be careful of that. Look, Agnes, back to Liftsea, look. Don't want to Agnes. Like that.
Contact Talon on 134.325 right edge, 905 Yankee, have a good evening.
To Finnair trying to check in.
Contact control 134.325, thank you very much for your service.
For Belgrade probably. TBY using the Honeywell MCP, is it personal preference or is it an airline thing? I usually switch it around, so I'm just using Honeywell today. Busy, busy. Simply VC, this is called the B2 volume control plugin. It's great. All guys busy.
Yankee 18, when ready, descend flight level 180, Austrian 6 Tango Sierra.
Austrian 6 Tango Sierra, confirm 150.
Correction, flight level 150, when ready, Austrian 6 Tango.
Baltic 12 Golf, contact.
Still trying to check in.
129.925, goodbye.
129.925, Air Baltic 12 Golf, have a nice evening, bye bye.
It's weird graphics flicker. Yeah, look, see how the windows are still all... I don't know what's happened to the windows in the mod. It's foggy.
Yeah, I got wanted the Samoy goodbye, or done please, something.
35, pushing up, flight level 220, climbing 360.
TVH7. Live stream regarding a JAL incident in one of the YouTube videos. I noticed the aircrew communicating with the cabin crew via gongs. Is that the evacuation signal? Is that an Alpaca SOP? So I don't know what the specific evacuation procedure is for JAL. We have a command for the flight deck if we want them to evacuate, or the cabin crew will get our attention as well. It was me, was he trying to contact me? I think so. Hello, Riga, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. Maintaining flight level 370 to Varus for the Orvix 2 Golf.
Pocket 2 for Zulumatic, control flow radar, contact expect the Orvix 2 Golf arrival for ILC Yankee, approach runway 18 and when ready descent flight level 160.
Orvix 2 Golf, ILS Yankee 18, when ready, descend flight level 16. Just confirm clear level, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike.
Pocket 2 for Zulumatic, flight level 160.
Send when ready, flight level 160, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, thank you. Perfect. I was trying to do too many things at once there. Yes, that was TVH's comment. Paul, I'm interested in revisiting Explain. I have version Explain 11. Is there currently a working ZIBO 737 for the Mac available? Paul, I do not know about Mac, I'm afraid. Best place to check the Explain forums for that question. Uros, Air Serbia has some fancy routes, I see. It's my country's airline. And it's the last time I flew with them, there was a spider inside a window. Lovely. Stradicos, hey now, hope you're doing well. How's the update? So far, so good. It's got very sensitive in pitch, and there's a lot more icing. You know, there's icing appearing on the aircraft. Maintaining Mach decimal 78, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike.
Mach number 75.
Reducing Mach decimal 75, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. I caught that about 5 seconds too late. So yeah, it's very sensitive in pitch. I'm going to have to review my response curves, but working well. Oh, the intercoms were broken, so the aft crew didn't have any instruction to use their own initiative in the end. Interesting, TB. Yeah, we have loud hailers on board the aircraft. We can use those. The cabin crew can use them to communicate through the cabin if the service interphone doesn't work. Did you update the start? I did, Daniel, but I haven't briefed it. Let's quickly step through that.
Control on the 134 decimal 325. Goodbye.
So that's the old one. Can't deselect it, unfortunately. Where's the chart here? There we go. So let's pin that. Orvix to 640, 125 below, 641, max 240, 80 to 100. Vexo 70 to 60, 230 knots. Then up to Tazi. Checks at flight level 60 for the 2 Golf, and then Agnes 210 knots, 2,500 checks. But I didn't cold temperature correct the FI-18, which is the final approach fix, which we need to do based off the temperature. So 2,000 feet, it's pretty much sea level here, so we can just simply call 2,000 feet, otherwise you subtract the elevation. Minus 10, we need to add 200 feet to the final approach fix. Now on certain RNAV approaches, you don't need to do that, but on this one we do, so we can change this to 2,200. There we go. Out constraint site. This is now warning about constraint. It shouldn't be an issue. And there we oh, right, let's just monitor VNAV in descent here as it passes top of descent. So it shouldn't deviate from VNAV. Yeah, and that's got to VNAV speed. So this happened in the last version of the mod I tried. It's not transitioning well from cruise to descent. It's getting itself high on. In reality, it's
like on conversion speed 280 knots.
On conversion speed 280 knots. Alpaca 240 Mike. Yeah. So it should convert nice and smoothly and stay on path the entire time. It always sort of just gets itself a little bit high initially. So because I've updated the speed. Oh no, it's an arm. Oh my goodness me. It seems to be. ARM FMC speed, you should be in FMC speed because you're low. So VNAV should give me 1,000 feet per minute. Should not be an ARM at the moment. This should be an FMC speed. When it captures the profile, then retard an ARM. Keep an eye on it. So it's maintaining decimal 78 at the moment. It'll convert to 280 knots shortly. Let's just monitor what happens now we're back on path. It is in path, so it's going to lock onto this here. No jack at the moment, Sorlock, I'm afraid. TB also on the tablet. If you use custom XML, you can use airside services in payload, which does all the payload stuff for you. Very interesting. I'll look into that. Zach, you'll be flying out of Stansted soon with a well-known UK-based airline in a week. Who knows, I may come across to say hi to a captain person if they're in the vicinity of flying. You never know. But I am on annual leave at the moment, so you won't see me. Have a safe flight.
Is 585 when ready, decent flight level 1.
Oh, sorry. My apologies. There you go. I was getting you all to study the cold temperature correction. Sorry, Brian. Thank you.
Riga control, hello, easy 627 Echo flight level.
Good. We didn't finish briefing the ILS, did we? No. I think we got distracted by ATC checking in. So yeah, 2,200 cold temperature corrected, and we don't need to change anything else because everything else is above the MSA. The missed approach is also above the temperature corrected MSA, or right at it, so we can leave it at 2,500. So yeah, look, VNAV seems to be a bit balked. It's gone back to speed doing 280, and it's getting a little bit high. So what I'll do, I'll extend the speed brake, we'll check it if it's too effective or not effective enough. Okay, yeah, that's good. Oh gosh, I still had Navigraph up as well. Nightmare. Okay, so yeah, speed brake's not effective enough now. It used to be too effective. I got flight detent 280 and it's not catching up. VNAV needs looking into, guys. This is not good. So 280 knots is what the target speed's based off, and I've got a speed brake. And we should be doing around... Well, the rate of descent's good, but the path... Now it's coming back, but it should have done this a lot sooner. Thank goodness I didn't download Ortho. Big thick contrail going on.
Bucket 24 November Yankee speed 250 knots.
Speed 250 knots, Alpaca 24 November Yankee.
TB, how do you know if you're too low?
Bucket 24 Zulu Max speed 250 knots.
250 knots, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. So 250. I'll leave it in VNAV speed. We'll update the descent speed. Should still give the option, I think.
250 knots.
Speed on conversion 250 knots, or 6 Tango Sierra.
That's going to hurt our profile probably. You're 2,000 feet high now, which that's realistic because we've been telling it to fly faster on a steeper approach. 250 is a more shallow approach, so we're going to reduce the level change to 250 and keep the speed brake out so it can recapture the profile. Let's see what happens when we get to 250 knots. But yeah, it looks like the speed brake, it's just not capturing the profile very well. Vito, good evening, Captain. How are you? I just want to ask if you know some reliable source for advanced high energy approach prevention. Thank you very much. Well, Vito, I have a tutorial which I think will help. It's old but gold on different ways to recapture your profile, which you might find useful. Hold on. $80,000 views. Video uploaded 6 years ago. Oh my god. Let's have a look here. What was I doing with the thumbnail? Right, let me post this here for you guys. There you go. That will help you. Vito, hopefully.
Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, contact Riga approach 129 goodbye.
129 and 925, thank you for the ATC, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, bye bye. Yeah, mod's got a problem now. So 250 knots, I've got speed brake extended and it's barely capturing the profile. Well, now it's sort of biting in, but it should be coming up a little quicker. A little quicker. Speed brake is a little bit more effective. I did, he said Alpaca radar. No, Riga approach.
Riga approach, transit Tango Sierra, flight level 230, descending 150, assigned speed 250 knots, we have Delta.
6 Tango Sierra, Riga approach, hello, radar contact, Delta is correct, descent, flight level 1.
What information we copy? Oh, I didn't actually write letters, I forgot to get the weather. It's Delta. It's exactly the same as we saw the ATIS via Navigraph. That's better. So now that's more like it. So it just was a bit slow to sort of get onto that correct descent rate. 250 knots. 250 knots speed brake. You're looking at around 2,300 feet per minute, which is what it's doing now. It's sort of oscillating quite a bit, even though the wind's not changing. So, alright. Why did that change from 2 to 3,000, even though the speed's pretty stable? So yeah, speed brake 250, looking around 2,300 feet per minute. It's a bit too much now. Randy, V1 sends you a friendly reminder to lower the gear. Riga approach, hello Alpaca, 24 Zulu Mike, descending flight level 160 inbound to Orvix for the Orvix 2 Golf, 250 knots.
24 Zulu Mike, Riga approach, hello, radar contact, descent flight level 110, call you back.
Descend flight level 110 Alpaca, 24 Zulu Mike. Oh yes, we know Stratocast, we're giving him banter in chat with V1. So we watched V1 crash his Learjets live on stream, and we reacted by leaving a comment.
Lufthansa 8 Golf, speed 200 knots. Lufthansa 8 Golf. Delta 26, turn right, heading 2.
Yeah, I spoke to V1. I'll lay this down here. We'll do something together this year. I'll lay it down, and you can say, Finance Sim, you said on the 5th of January, 10 past 6, you do a collaboration with V1. It's happening this year. Victor, was V1 watching? Why did he not comment? You didn't see us comment. He didn't. That's fine. So V1 was watching my stream of us watching him like the Learjet. Oh dear. Seatbelts on. So we're back on profile, VNAV, and it should plan 250. So we'll just keep the speed brake out until it's bang on 250, bang on path, and then we'll monitor its performance. Made the restriction from 150 to 140, so it is going to have a brief level segment at 140 and then stop. And VNAV's going to maintain 150, that's fine. So it's now staying the speed brake because VNAV will maintain 150 for a very short while. We're only 6 miles behind the aircraft ahead, the engine antenna is coming on. Just turn the bats down slightly.
Romeo 708, turn left heading 210.
TB, seatbelts around 15,000, about 15 minutes before landing.
360, turn left heading 360.
There we are, so that is correct. VNAV would level off. What I'm going to do is push out into vent, and the aircraft will start descending at 1,000 feet per minute until it recaptures the profile. There it goes. He says, come on. Out intervention to the Why is that not descending? Can't go to descend, so I'll do VS then. So out intervention should delete that restriction. Now it's going now, so back to VNAV. That comment was self-promote, no self-promote. We support each other. Yeah, so if you had a top percent from 15,000, but I set a low MCP altitude and pushed out into vent, that should delete the restriction. For 1,000 feet per minute.
Delta 26, turn left heading 150.
Anyway, back on path, 250 knots. Looking okay now.
Heading 035. 035.
So right now, the aircraft's targeting to be 125 or below at 640, which it is, and then at or below 100 to 80 is the next restriction. The German Latvian still had these blurry windows the entire sector.
Alpha Romeo.
And we're going to keep a close eye on these wings with the wing anti use of wing anti. Yeah, this is weird. The graphics here. It's a bit anime. What's this all about?
170 until 5 miles final. Not that hard to understand, mate. Thank you. Baltic 1 to Golf, speed 200 knots, defend 3000.
Oh dear. I better listen out, guys.
Speed 200 and descending to 3000 at the Baltic 1 to Golf.
Delta 260, send flight level 90.
What is this icing?
Packer 24 Zulu, Mike, turn right, heading 090.
Right 090 degrees, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. Heading select, delayed vectors it seems. I'm just going to go, because we're going off the Magenta line to VS 1000 feet per minute now. Mad German. Oh look at the snow! Look at the snow in X-Plane 12, very cool. Very good. Does that work with Ortho 4XP, guys? Does that do anything, or does Ortho prevent it? So delayed vectors probably for some spacing. I'm all over the place, didn't do any performance. Look at this, 300 kilos to burn, to burn 62.6, flat 30, runway's not contaminated, all the brakes 3. Yes, the visual, some icing. This is X-Plane 12's, I don't like this at all. This is just not realistic. It looks like someone's gotten the spray paint out. Right, anyway, 110 is our cleared level, so we can disregard any restrictions on the vector at the moment. I think Ortho... Oh, it works... Oh, Edo, it works with Ortho. 2 tons, not so sure. It works with Ortho, very cool. Just because of X-Plane, I'm going to put the wing anti-ice on.
Delta 26, turn left heading 360.
Someone's had a bit too much drink in the back there. You had the white outline the whole flight, it isn't icing. Yeah, but it only appears Yaroslav when I'm in icing conditions. When I'm not in icing conditions, it's not there. So I think it's some weird... I don't know if ZIBO's added icing for when you're in icing conditions. But it doesn't get rid of it. Pretty. Yeah, Rosie, I agree with you to a point there. It is frustrating if you're trying to get an instruction and someone's not listening properly, I understand, but no place for it. So 250 knots, 110, let's see what happens. We're just complying with our restrictions. It's a sauna, yeah, I know, Colin.
Packer 2 for November Yankee, turn left heading 050 down to level 70.
Anyway, you're meant to be saying 050 degrees and send flight level 70. Degrees.
Packer 2 for Zulu Mike, speed 220 knots.
Speed 220 knots, Alpaca 2 for Zulu Mike. Anyway, I've got to be on the ball here, I don't want to be told off. So, okay, see, I thought it might have been because of a light change below the clouds. Someone's an oopsie.
From right, turn right 250.
Sorry, right heading 150.
Negative 250, right 250.
250.
Delta 26 call,
pitch power looks good though, 110, 220 knots, around 5 degrees, probably need around 60-65% up here though. Actually we're quite heavy, maybe about 70, let's see.
Packer 2 for November Yankee, speed 220 knots.
Is he meant to be on a heading 050?
Heading 330.
Cloud's looking a bit better now. Oh, I can't use that view. I'm not sure about that. This looks like the stuff that comes out of that when you're playing at Apex Legends, the gas guy.
Packer 2 for Zulu Mike, descent flight level 70.
Descent flight level 70, Alpaca 2 for Zulu Mike. 70 checks. A little bit high here, so I'm just going to get level change. Yeah, I've heard this guy on Bantam before, he's very good. He's very, very, his RT's nice and he's got good capacity. Negative.
Baltic 1 to Golf, established runway ILS 18.
1 to Golf, call tower 118105, bye-bye.
18105, Air Baltic 1 to Golf, Helmet landing, bye-bye.
Prefect 999, left heading 355.
Left heading 355.
TB, yeah, anyone could join us, Alpaca Airways.
I mean right 355.
We do our members group flights on Discord, but you can always join in and use that call sign. Anyway, passing 10170, so post-cruise checks now, so fuel, 4 pumps, lights. Don't need a logo on. I'm okay for engine anti-ice for now. Angular mount 25, pressurisation 3.0 precise set, seatbelts on, recall, log off Super DLC 215, there we are, post cruise checks complete.
173 Deicing 140, information bell.
So when you're on a Vectors, keep the FMC updated, just keep going direct to the next waypoint. You don't need to do that in the Airbus, but in the 737 is important you do. Very good core tube, very good. But we don't. Is terrain radar now working? Yeah, we can actually put the VSD on. VSD is very useful. It prevents something called QNH blunder error. So you can see the runway displayed below the terrain. Have a look at my last video upload if you'd like to learn more about QNH blunder error.
Prefect 999, approach 134850.
134855, Prefect 99.
This snow here. It's cold. This is just stock scenery here.
Level 100, UPS 585.
Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, turn left heading 355.
Left 355 degrees, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike.
Austrian 6 Tango Sierra, turn right heading 355.
Looking good, so try and do a CDA. 1 to go. Yeah, this, and the windows have been completely hazy, the whole sector as well. But the mod's handled very nicely. Of course, you've had your LST. Still didn't forget everything. Good. Well done passing your LST. I've just realised something. VNAV's commanding a 70 level segment here. Taste 60, okay. Programming boss, how's it going in the new year? Very well, thank you. Just enjoying some annual leave at the moment. Started on Tuesday. Been so busy this New Year's. I've not hardly flown in the last 3 months. I've just been sim.
Send
5,000 feet, QNH 1005, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. 5,000 feet set QNH 1005, passing 6,900 for 5,000 feet, no flag, standby until it's set. And yep, we'll just do 500 feet per minute. Now it's going to show us very low on profile, yes, because it's just gone below our level segment. 134850, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, bye.
Okay, reduce speed 200. Delta 26, turn right heading 140.
Delta, he's got a long way.
2,500 feet. Heading 140.
Alright, over the Baltic Sea again. That looks great. Does look good, doesn't it, the sim? Great performance. Very nice.
Speed 200 knots. Alpaca 24 November Yankee, reduce speed 180 knots.
I've still got the wing anti-ice on. No, the engine anti-ice on again now.
Baltic 1 Golf Sierra, contact Riga approach, connect your Riga tower, 118.105 for crane.
118.105.
We've got 2 approach controllers, which would be a good thing.
Easy 627 Echo, you overshot the localizer left 1.
Oh dear. And where is the aircraft going? Oh my days. Is this a crazy icing, or is it... Ah! What is going on? I'm making no inputs here. Oh dear. Mod's having a little bit of a shake around. I'm just going to put the wing anti-ice on. Again, you don't use it as an anti-icer primarily. Approach hello Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, sending altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1005. Radar heading 355 degrees, speed 220 knots.
Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, Riga approach hello, reduce speed 180 knots.
180 knots, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. I think this is something to do with weird icing effects in X-Plane, because I've turned on the wing anti-ice, seems to have fixed the issue. So it's not the correct way of using it. You can use it as an anti-ice in the real aircraft, but the ice will melt and it will refreeze. But look, is that me or is this getting bigger? Am I just imagining that? I don't have XP realistic. Oh, what's happening? I'm trying to slow down. Oh, it's a bit... It's all over the place here. No, this is not good. I've gone flap 1. I'm going to flap 5. And it's just struggling here. Oh my god! What's going on? It's 50 knot winds. And look, what's the auto throttle doing? I've disconnected the auto throttle. Slow down. Why is my idle 59%? What is going on here? My idle is 59%. Oh, why did that get stuck? Well, I don't know what happened there. I had it completely idle. It's just all over the place. Right, I'm just going to try and maintain 5,000. Something's not right here in X-Plane. Okay, settle down. Is this snow or rain? I'm worried I've got severe icing on the aircraft in X-Plane. Is there a way of checking the icing contamination of us? When it's like all over the place. Whoa, 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 my airplane. Come on. It's like 14 knot winds. Heading 340 degrees, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. What is going on here? They're saying no delay, but I can't. The plane's uncontrollable. Yeah, I'm trying to turn 340, and he said no. I'll do it. Oh! I can't. It's uncontrollable. Oh dear. Yeah, it does seem to be flying in clouds. It just is very unhappy. I don't know if it's the mod or X-Plane. Can I just someone make me a simulator? Does that have any issues? Right, I've got the autopilot in, but it is all over the place. I think it's... I'd be curious to know if it's anything to do with this weather. So much for my CDA, but I've got a barely controllable aeroplane here. V1's revenge, I know. Come on. It's getting all this, but it's the look. It's the spikes in airspeed. The wind is absolutely rock solid, but the thrust is going up and down. It's the turbulence modelling or something in the cloud, because the wind is not moving. This should be silk as smooth as silk in here. If cumulus clouds, then XP simulates severe thunder snowstorm. That explains a lot. LNAV, no, I'm on a radar vector here, TB. Blackberry is already preparing a video. Brilliant. Yes, good video, good YouTube channel actually. Really analytical into instance, and he knows what he's talking about. I thoroughly recommend. Yes, he's waiting with his notepad. This is a bit of a delayed vector, isn't it? Look at this. Into the... Oh my goodness me, I can see why now as well. Look at this. Look how busy it is.
Turn right heading 090.
Turn right heading 090 degrees, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. Good luck, ZIBO. So, okay, so I can't really apportion blame to the mod then, so 2 tons is quite clued up with X-plane, and if it's forecasting snow in these ones, I think it's put me in a severe snowstorm. Ah, what was it? Did it say CBs as well, didn't it? But it wouldn't be as bad as this. I'm hard predicting to have to do a upset recovery any second. Right, it seems to have settled a bit now. No, this is not beta, this is the latest public version. This is default weather, not active sky. Simpod Andrew, you had the problem going into Vancouver in weather. Okay. Yeah, I think the live weather needs updating. I think it's something to do with how it's reading CBs. It's just rolled right through the heading. Come on. Come on. Come on, my controls again, I think. Yeah, come on. Oh, it's uncontrollable almost. It's just, I'm not making any inputs here. Look how it just rocks the plane. Look, if I just go wings level here. Right, let me just go wings level, get it in trim. Oh no, I'm not in cloud now, of course, look, this is the one bit where I'm not in cloud. Look. Shit, it's almost, look. Almost uncontrollable. I should have the auto throttle disengaged when hand flying like this, but it's not trim really either. Someone's gone around by the sounds of it. Whoa, there's a 1,000-foot rate of descent, so we want around 5 degrees altitude to hold 5,000 feet. Seems to have settled down now. Yeah, look, so that's how it should be, look. No input, nice and smooth. Okay, let's go back in trim. I think it's just because I'm out of cloud now. Command A. Yeah, it's depicting severe storm cells. Okay, yeah, I think when I'm in them then, you can see I don't have any snow, but when the precipitation starts, that's when I'm in this severe storm cell, even though it's just a little bit of snow. Yeah, there we go, because I'm not in the cloud. Look, watch what happens as soon as I get into this cloud. Riding 170 degrees, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. Triffin, yes, I don't know what this one thing is. Looks like I'm gonna, yeah, so once I'm out the cloud, it's sort of very smooth. There you go, precipitation starting, and now it's started rocking. So this issue is not the mod, it is X-Plane 12 is depicting severe weather and at least moderate turbulence in cloud at the moment. That's what the weather radar is showing. Yeah, so yeah, 2 tons thanks to that, so this is an issue that needs to be rectified. So I've not been established, I've not been cleared to establish on the localizer. We're still on a radar heading here.
Easy 627 Echo, turn left heading 350. Left heading 350, easy 627 Echo. Ryanair 9 Hotel, sorry for the delay.
Game says can you press I? Doesn't do anything. Anyway, so distracted. How's the fuel situation? We need 3.7 to divert to Gdansk.
Alpaca 24 November Yankee, contact Riga approach 1, correction Riga Tower, 118.105. 118.105.
Yeah, if it was an actual storm cell, yeah.
T4 Zulu Mike, descent 2,500 feet, speed 170 knots, until 5 mile final turn right, heading 190, you're cleared for the Alice Yankee approach, runway 18.
Send 2,500 feet, radar heading 190 degrees, maintain 170 knots till 5 miles, cleared ILS Yankee 18, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. That was a little bit too information from a controller. They shouldn't give more than 2 bits of information at once. I only just about remembered that in my short-term memory. Right, cleared approach, that heading will work, 170 knots. Okay, out the cloud again. Oh, sorry, game. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I changed the command.
5 Hotel Alpha, turn right heading 160.
So you can see it's snow. I guess this is... Oh god, visibility 3. Constantly changing, isn't it? So I guess I'm just out of that cell now, so it's stopped. I'm below it, I think. Yeah, I've had the wing anti-ice on for a very long time. That would not be ideal in reality. Yeah, look, it's not flying. Oh no, localizer capture, that's why. It's a bit the localizer, fair enough. Runway heading 175. Another thing that's a bit of a threat in Riga, very low missed approach altitude. Missed approach altitude, if you have to go around, is climb on runway heading to 2,500 feet. Very low stop altitude. Yeah, because I'm now out that cloud, it's all stabilised. All stabilised. Oh, I've gone straight back into it. Let's see what the IR says. Ugh, look at all this. Oh, it's coming back again, guys! Ah! Oh dear. The stall speed going up and down. Oh, the autopilot's doing an okay job. Missed approach altitude 2,500 feet set. Right, we can only fly in X-Plane 12 in Cav OK conditions. Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike fully established.
Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, contact Riga Tower 118.105.
118.105, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. Bye bye. I cut him off. He's probably wishing us a lovely day. Right, I'll pre-tune ground. My eyes away from the cockpit. I don't like that. Right, out the clouds. Hopefully that will help. Gonna go flap 10 here. That looks very Riga-like. God, it's still struggling. I can't really assess the mod in these conditions as well. It look on approach, the drag seems about right. At Riga Tower, hello, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, established ILS Yankee, runway 189 miles.
24 Zulu Mike, continue approach number 2.
Continue approach, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike.
Alpaca 24 November Yankee.
It's a bit of a tailwind here, so watch the ground speed with tailwinds. We're still doing 190 knots. The auto throttle limiting lights coming on saying, look, I'm trying to slow down, but I can't. We might have to configure a bit earlier here. I'm not going to run the landing checklist today.
2500.
Clear for takeoff, runway 18, runway 94 Yankee Whiskey. Cheers, bye.
Perfect. Good. I've got the charts ready as well. Okay, seems all stable now. Start switch. I'm going to take off the wing anti-ice now in the sim. So, because of that tailwind, you want to configure a little bit earlier, guys. So, gear down. Flat 50. Star switches, continuous recall checked, speed brake arm, green lights, landing gear. Down to green, auto brake 3 set, holding on the landing flap. Needs to be below 175 knots for flap 30.
Confirm landing traffic inside.
Line traffic inside for postman 67.
And flap 30. And we lost all the tailwinds now. And it's all stable, looking good. Ugh! Where's the runway? Oh, postman, you better line up quickly. I'm only on a 4-mile final. That's a bit tight. Right.
Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, approach speed.
Minimum approach speed, Alpaca 24 Zulu. This could be interesting. Disconnecting auto throttle, disconnecting autopilot. So, this gross weight, target altitude around 1 degree, 57% to hold the speed. It's pretty much in trim.
26 Tango Sierra, welcome to Riga. Contact Riga ground on 118.805. Bye bye.
118.805, 26 Tango Sierra.
Checked.
1,000 feet, stabilized, missed approach altitude.
Roll, postman, roll. There we go. So now we're out the cloud. It's very smooth. I'm not a big fan of this icing. So yeah, target altitude's about right. 1 degree. Thrust, yeah, quite heavy, aren't we? 62 tons. Yeah, that's pretty much bob on. Where is this runway? It seems to have merged with the surrounding scenery. Rate of descent's good. 50 knots, so we're on around 800 feet per minute. Can't see the pappies yet. Check. Just watch that rate of descent. Not clear to land yet, guys. Postman's rolling, I can see him. Just about to rotate, landing clearance is perfect then. 500 continue. Cheers.
For Zulu Mike, citizens, calm, runway 18 clear to land.
18 clear to land, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. Checked. Continue. Doesn't look like a non-contaminated runway. We're going to use max reverse thrust. Checked.
Wings 1910, hello.
You're a bit fast there. Check. Oh, oh no! It feels very different to how it did before. Oh, I had to flare a lot more than I was expecting. That's the hey guys, that's the perfect landing in a contaminated runway. I'll have you know. That's my excuse. 100, 80. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Slam. Who do I work for? I work nuts. James. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Riga. Oh, I could have made this exit for ATC, but I've missed it. I'll make the next sharp left. Oh, I can't. I'm trying to. Oh, back at 24 Zulu Mike vacating at Bravo. I'm trying. It is a bit. Seems a bit slippy. Oh, I've got max braking. Oh, reverses. It's not working. Oh, I've got full brakes. Oh. Yeah, I'm trying. It's very slippy. That's max reverse thrust. It's not slowing down. Crap. Oh. I'm trying to vacate. I can't brake. I can't slow down.
Hello, continue push number 1 and resume minimal upper speed.
I tried, but it's just not braking, so I'm going to use reverse thrust. Like, that's maximum brakes. That's maximum brakes. Maximum brakes. It's uncontrollable.
German Airlines 1910, surface on runway 18 clear for takeoff.
Oh, it's so contaminated. And Alpaca 240 Mike vacated. Sorry about that. The sim, I just couldn't stop.
Problem Alpaca 24 Mike, contact Riga ground on 19.805, bye bye.
118805 Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, bye. Wow, it's so slippy. So I'll start braking again. That's max brakes. That's maximum braking. Maximum braking. That is truly contaminated. Well, so we'll talk about that and about reverse thrust. I'll give you some top tips, guys, for when you land on contaminated runways and taxiways. Ah, dear, oh dear. Right. Oh, checking my ground. Riga ground, hello, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, vacated runway 18 at the end.
Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, Riga ground, hello, welcome to Riga, stand 217 via Foxtrot, Charlie and Papa.
Stand by, I'm just having some control difficulties. I can't control it. I can't. This is so maximum brake. Let's bring it to a stop first, eh? We might have to taxi in at 5. That's max braking. Oh, that is full brakes. This is completely iced over. Is there a way of checking somewhere?
You are clear to Deicing North 4 via.
Wow. Alpaca 24 Zulu, I'm now ready to coffee.
Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike, you are cleared to taxi to runway correction, stand 217 via Foxtrot, Charlie and Papa.
Stand 217, Foxtrot, Charlie, Papa, Alpaca 24 Zulu Mike. Thanks for that, bye-bye. That was crazy. Okay, right, so at the moment, I think X-Plane 12 has activated a very slippery taxiway and very slippery runway. Now, if it is genuinely as slippy as it is here, that is how an aircraft behaves in these conditions. So, yeah, no, how did he stop? He must be a Microsoft Flight Simulator. So yeah, if a taxiway runway is as contaminated as it is right now for me, that is how an aircraft will handle. So that braking action was poor at the end. So here's a top tip for you. I'll ask a question in chat, and this is how we train pilots. When do you stow reverse thrust on landing? When do you stow reverse thrust on landing? And this is why I'm taxiing in very slowly. So just to show you again, look, on my control column, this is max braking I have assigned to. So there you go, max braking, that's max braking, max braking, max braking. No, it's not a speed, it's not 60 knots, it's not 70 knots. Michael Tizard and Jump and Run have got it correct. That is when you stow reverse thrust. When stopping is assured. That's the only time. Which is why I cranked up reverse thrust again to land. Because that will be the most effective way of stopping if the brakes aren't going to work. So there you are. You keep exactly done that. You keep them all the way to a full stop. Absolutely. Now reverse thrust, it's not ideal using them when you're slow because you increase the risk of foreign object debris ingestion. But it's better than having a runway excursion, you know, but then having a risk of ingesting stuff. So yeah, that's it. Right, I better follow Foxtrot Charlie Papa. So Charlie is let's have a look on the charts here. Next right. This is just default scenery. Got to go past the fire service, and we'll go from there. So yeah, that was you know, the runway isn't going to be as contaminated as it is in the sim in real life. They wouldn't have it open. They'd be clearing the runway first. But if you were to, I've done in the level D, I've landed on a contaminated runway with braking action poor, and that's exactly how the mod handled, as if there was no grip. So here's Charlie, just to show you. Look, I'll go full right on the tiller. You see how it's understeering? That's realistic for the conditions. So you see how it's just understeering. That's how Microsoft Flight Simulator handles most of the time. But because it's sort of simulating, look, if I go full weight, look, see if I go the other way, that's simulating ice now. That is a completely contaminated taxiway it's simulating. And that is how it would steer. There's a really good video, I don't know if you guys have seen it, of an A380 taxiing onto stand in snow, and it just completely understeers. So yeah, the Riga drift, one might say, yes. Charlie Papa stand 217 then, that's the next left, and then it's a remote stand next to this alpaca. Right, we're in freezing conditions then, so we need to configure the aircraft a little bit differently. Tom H. Cat 6 to 15 months, have you done your cleanup after landing? I haven't, because I've been too distracted. Let's do the cleanup. So we'd hold the flaps at 15 if we think it would fill with contamination, but we're not going to do that. We're confident we're clear of contamination. So we'll put the flaps all the way up. Let's stand 218, we're looking for 217, which is here. There we go. I'm going to have to come in really slowly. That's just like that A380. So flaps up, trim to 4 units. Oh, sorry, 5 units. Probe heat stays on, and you turn off the engine anti-ice pulling onto stand. Nice and slow. It's busy here. Yeah, great job from ATC. But yeah, I've wanted to find out the condition of the runway, and I think there is a way in X-Plane 12 in the menu, which we'll look at. Anyway, here we are. Oh, I'm braking. I am braking. We've made it. We're alive. Right, parking brake is set. Oh, AP's available. 2 blues, 1 red. Edge is dead. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Riga. Now, I'm glad we landed as firm as that now, and wasn't as super smooth, because I needed all that runway, because I said, yeah, I'll make the next steps. It started braking. I was like, yeah, that ain't gonna work. Does it feel refreshing to fly ZIBO after Microsoft Flight Simulator? Yes, it does in many ways, but with X-Plane 12 as it is right now, it's the issue is the weather. I think when it's completely clear, there's no issues at all, but when we got into the cloud, there's moderate to severe turbulence. And the runway, when it's contaminated as it is right now, is unlandable. So yeah, leave the probes on. There we go. We're alive. We made it. Oh yeah, lights. I didn't do any of my cleanup. And then we do the transit shutdown freezing conditions checklist. Doors open, so we can start disembarking. Lovely. Poor passengers had no view of anything. Yeah, the replay's going to be interesting. Might have to do a different view. Flight Team Sim, have you had any ideas why my auto throttle disarms PMDG 737-700 during taxi? No idea. Do you have a split in your thrust levers? That might be the reason. Aeroslav, nice flight, thanks buddy, and an interesting ending. Yes, it was, yes. We'll have a look at that. Anyway, I just want to have a look at the menu. Hold on. Oh, everyone's just jumping out even though there's no rear steps attached. Is it here? And you can press this. How do you see the runway condition? Dry? No, come on. That is not a dry runway. Usually it comes up with a contamination. It says ice or something. But yeah, that was braking action like poor. You know, I could barely stop. So anyway, it was enjoyable. I think you guys enjoyed my commotion there as we landed. But that was certainly not dry. But it looks good. The snow effects look good. They just need to in the realms of a desktop simulator, it's hard to sort of model contamination because it will vary so much based off the conditions, the runway itself, the slope, how the braking action will be. So that was just from operational experience below, like medium poor at best. Barely could stop. But yeah, skill issue. I agree, Falcon1. Yeah, skill issue. Any tips? I really appreciate them. I'm ready to hear for some advice. Colin Styles, that makes sense. Sometimes there's a split whilst using Xbox controls on the throttle. Yeah, absolutely. Any split will disconnect the auto throttle there. X-Planes just needs to have runways. Oh, there's a little heart emoji in the way. Do iced doesn't work. Yeah, at the moment it's a bit of a pain. Anyway, let's log off the vaccine moment. Thanks for all the ATC there as well. I've overshot the stream plan slightly. It's meant to be 2.5 hours. And let's do a little replay. But yeah, it's workable, the mod. Just need some weather updates for X-Plane 12 for it to be half functioning. Right, let me just close the doors here as well for the replay. Well, I'm not going to be able to do it from inside because the windows have been like that for the entire sector. Right, let's try the replay. Hopefully it won't crash. At least it never crashed during the flight. Oh no, that's the wrong one. That's when I signed out. Oh, too loud. Oh, pro streamer here. Right, let's see how that landing was. That was firm. No, I haven't paid for runway. Use all runway. Cheers, Marcus. Glad you enjoyed it.
300. 200.
Yeah, the runway looked like the grass on the approach. 100. Let's just have a look at how firm this was. I don't think it looked as bad as it did in the cockpit, but this will be able to tell. Yeah, you know what? No bounds. That. Well, I didn't do it. I'll admit I didn't do that. I didn't do that intentionally, but if I knew it was going to be as contaminated as it was, that's the exact landing I would have done. And by George, it did not slow down. There we are. Bowen would actually say that's the textbook landing, but who likes landing like that? Every passenger will think you can't fly if you land hard, unfortunately. Anyway, if you were to land on a contaminated runway, it wasn't my intention, but that is the landing you want to do on a contaminated runway. Boom, get it down. Spoilers up, speed brakes up, max reverse. And I was like, oh, I'll make the exit for ATC, and I started manually braking, disconnecting the auto brake. I was like, yeah, I ain't stopping. There we are. Yeah, the replay's looking nice though. Let's do one from the town. Yeah, this is default scenery as well. For default, it does look very good. But yeah, I think any desktop simulator having a contaminated runway, it's hard to. If they actually said if it said on VATSIM, yeah, runway is contaminated, that would have been really realistic. Sergeant, isn't explained a bit too bright when the cruise? It's okay, it's just the shadows and when in the darkness, it looks so good. Yeah, That's max reverse thrust order brake 3, and the rate of deceleration you can see is very slow. Kept it out there. And then I was like, right, I'll try and make this exit for ATC, because it's a busy VATSIM event, so I started braking now, and I was like, whee! Straight past. Ah, there we are. Ah, no. And then I was like, right, I'll reselect reverse thrust around here, because I was realising the wheel brakes aren't doing anything. But this is where, in real life, ATC would very much inform you, yeah, braking action is 3, exercise caution, pyreps would be available from other pilots to tell you what the braking action is like. So there you go, look, I've got the reverse thrust back out now to ensure that I can actually stop. There we go. Anyway, guys, I can't do the replay from my usual view, look. It's been like that the entire flight, so what I'm going to do, we'll do a replay from sort of in here. There we go. Sort of a GoPro cam, let's say. Let's put it right at the top there. You can watch the entire rollout then. There we go, let's do it from about there. Just ignore the master cautions, they wouldn't illuminate usually. That's a cool view. It's like this, like the space shuttle. Cool, well, we'll go from there. Excellent, well, thanks.
Speed stabilized, Mr. Perch altitude set.
Cheers, Jim. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for another fun Flight Deck Sim live stream. Sorry I couldn't go with the original plan in the A300, but we had fun in the ZIBO mod. I think the mod's needing a lot more work. We had issues with VNAV in descent, a bit too slippy. Speed brake wasn't quite effective enough. Pitch and power looked fine. The landing flare, it felt a bit PMDG actually when I started flaring, and it was very sensitive. That's going to be more something my side, so I'll look into that. The weather in X-Plane 12 is all over the place, I think, especially with slippy weather and in clouds that are sea breeze. But anyway, brush that aside. We had fun. I hope you enjoyed it. X-Plane 12 is fine. You can enjoy the ZIBO mod 737 as well. Thank you to everyone that donated for your generosity. Thank you to all the members for your continued support. Really appreciate it. To all the regular viewers and subscribers, thank you very much for your support too. Do like the video, helps the channel out, and I'll see you live very soon. Bye bye for me.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.